Meeting come to order. 6 p.m. I'll stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, let's hope and pray that this meeting will be productive and we get through it and everybody leaves here clear hearts and minds, and we do good work tonight. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Johnson.
Present.
Clerk Baraco here. Treasurer Davis. Here. Trustee McKay.
Here.
Trustee Menke.
Here.
Trustee Blanchard.
Here.
Trustee Hoskins. Here. 7, we have a quorum.
Approval of the agenda, additions, subtractions, and corrections.
I move.
Second. Roll call.
Trustee Hoskins. Here. Treasurer Davis. Here. Clerk Baraco, yes. Trustee Menke.
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard.
Here again?
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
7 yes. Agenda approved.
Okay, this is our second meeting of the budget workshop. It's a workshop, so we'll now officially call this workshop open. All open meetings, rules of conduct and decorum apply to this workshop. Public comments on this. Mr. Mike.
Good evening, everybody. As you say, this is our second rodeo here. Hopefully we won't have to have a third. Just a couple of things in reviewing what was posted online. I guess 2 concerns and then just one, I guess, a clarification that I'm hoping to get in your discussion tonight. I did not see anything on there about any road maintenance proposed. You all know that that's a very passionate issue for me. So, we really should be discussing how we're going to do what we're going to do. I know that we're obviously probably not going to do anything this year. The bids are due to the requests are due to the county by the 15th, or I think next Friday. So it might even be a little bit earlier than that. I don't know if they sent anything over. We haven't had a lot of discussion about that, as far as that goes. And second, reviewing, I guess, the proposed for 2026. One of the things, and I spoke with Commissioner Brown about the ZBA. She's unable to be here tonight, but it looks like a pretty substantial decrease in that and what you're expecting for meetings. Her and I, talked, briefly. We talked about it at our last planning commission meeting. She is the liaison for us to the ZBA. I would anticipate that you guys, that they will have probably more opportunity for meetings now that we're going to be in our second full year with the new zoning ordinance. There'll be a lot of, as building comes on and whatnot, different setbacks and different changes that we made will start probably needing to have more variance requests. So I would just, I guess point that out on behalf of them. And then, like I said, I did speak with Commissioner Brown on that. She had a similar concern. And then also just a clarification on the proposed budget for 26 in the police public safety. That contract number is not correct on either side, both the 25 or the 26 proposed. It looks to me in reviewing on the 25 that we charged marijuana money possibly to pay for some of that contract, but there's no carryover on that. So not exactly sure how that worked. We just, didn't have the workshop last year, as far as that goes. So just want to point that out. It's like a $200,000 difference. So that makes a difference as far as that goes. And maybe it's accounted for in there and I just didn't see it. But just something I wanted to bring to your attention. I've got some other stuff here, but let's just see what the discussion brings. Yeah. So those are just a few things that jumped off the page for me. Thank you.
Mike, I do have some information though for, the 5-year role plan and the match process. Maybe you have it. If you don't, I'll make sure you get a copy of it. So everybody else has it. So,
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, I have not seen it.
okay. All right. You have something you was
Nope, you can't. It's the budget workshop, you can't talk about anything else in there, but that's what it's Tuesday.
um. Didn't think it was fine.
It does, you can't talk about it, it's gotta wait till Tuesday. It's all right, let's move on. It's okay,
What are we talking about?
nothing,
Okay, excuse me?
it's nothing, it's something that's going, will be on the agenda for Tuesday. And we can't talk about it during the budget meetings, so therefore, it'll be on the agenda for Tuesday.
Okay, before I move right on, everybody did get if you didn't, it's in your email, about the magazine, right?
Mhm.
Okay. That's a good thing. Okay. All right. You gonna pick back up on the budget?
I just have one comment I'd like to make. If it's still open.
Still open.
I just
This
want to
is
know,
real informed. This is a workshop.
okay? I just want to know if our township has a balanced budget. And if it doesn't have a balanced budget, where does that money come from to fill in that gap? And how does it get paid for? That's all I have.
Well, we have a balanced budget and a surplus.
Okay.
And as we go through it tonight, you'll see that we are in the black. You got that? I'm gonna make sure. Got this sheet here. Same thing, right?
This is the one that Melissa sent out. These two.
Okay. I got these. Pages did what?
Nine. Here.
9 pages to bring it up. I didn't bring it up. Yes, you.
Just use this one. Put that one in that one. Or I can follow it in the Zoom. Okay.
Okay, I got this. Everybody got this one?
Which one is it?
The one
The
with the
the
nine.
single sheet, I believe, the single one. This one?
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, I got two.
And we did it this way So if we wanted to make changes over here, we just easily go down the right side of the column with them versus the one that everybody loves.
Yeah.
But that's hard to follow. Okay, we're gonna go down the budget then. We'll start off with or do we want to go through the whole thing again?
You still have some questions too.
I don't necessarily need to go through the whole thing.
Oh, gosh, no.
But I have questions on
Okay,
parts.
good,
Mhm.
good then. I like that even better.
I don't know about anybody else, but
Well, start with you, trustee McKay.
well, I'll stick to the first page.
All right.
Have we verified as the millage for the police that we have the right numbers? Or Mike brought up something that did remind me of last year when I was in the audience watching the budget. I remember something about marijuana money being moved, that we could use part of it. I just didn't know if that was being used for this year, but not next year, or what the deal is. I just want to be sure we got the right number. As far as we know, we do.
As far as we know, and yeah, this will help you support it if you'd like to have that to look at it.
But we will double check it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can always amend it if we have to.
Yeah.
Then I had a question about, we did reduce the state shared revenue as well.
We did.
Yes.
Thought we did, but
Answer. Whenever we need
Yeah,
to
the
do it.
95 was also-
Sometimes it's in your area more than mine.
30,
yeah.
yeah, 4,
Okay.
35 and it went down.
We're all here
Okay.
sticking it together tonight.
Okay. The only other big thing on this page it's not that big, but are we sure about the Cablevision franchise fees of 85,000? Well, we get money for the internet connection now too, don't we? They might not have cable TV, that's going away. People are streaming. So they're paying franchise fees for internet, I believe, but I'm not positive on that.
There's, Christy, did you just deposit a franchise fee?
I did.
How much was that?
I would have to go back and look on the records. I don't have that.
It's still
with me.
coming in pretty steady.
It is.
I believe it's like once every other month.
Yeah.
Or once every 3 months. I don't know whether it's for cable and internet.
But
I
it's
know
16.
some of it is for some of the property as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure we don't overestimate, because I know people are leaving cable, but they're streaming now. So they still need the internet.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they also putting in fiber everywhere,
Yeah.
and they're gonna pay fees to these people that's putting it in, so we're not gonna lose. I don't see how you can lose.
Yeah.
No, you're Rod.
I'm right.
Yeah, for everybody, this is the township accountant, Rod.
And clarify, I'm not an accountant, but I do specialize in budgets.
Oh,
On the
okay.
cable franchise fees, your question's a good question, because you're right, the trend has been going away. These franchise fees across the state have been going down significantly. In your guys' case, as an example, in 2022, you brought in $118,000. And then it went to 109, 94. When I looked at the budget for 25, I estimated about 87. And so 85 is that continue that trend of stepping down over time. Do we, in any of these numbers, do we know exactly what they'll be?
No, I know.
But are we watching the trend, the historical information, and are we accounting for that? And I would say yes,
Okay.
accounted for appropriately.
All right. Great.
I may, may I?
Please.
So I think there's important clarification. The resident asked the question about the police millage. And so just as a reflection, the township has 2 millages for public safety, one for fire, and then one for public safety. The one for fire that's related to capital the 1 mil of that goes into your fire capital fund. And then the other mill of that goes into the fire operating fund. And then, you also have an additional millage, which is 4.5 mils, which has been rolled back through the Headley. And of that, 1 mil goes into fire, or about 22%. And the remaining 3.5 mils, about 77% go for police. Let me step back and explain that a little better. So, historically, the township has placed the police portion of that millage into the general fund. And if you notice, if you look at the township's audit, when the auditors actually do your audit, they place those revenues in what's called a special revenue fund. And so under accounting standards, when you have received money that's restricted in some way, and this money is restricted by the voters, because the voters voted for this and it's restricted, then that money should be put into a special revenue fund. And so when I originally looked at the budget, I had recommended the use of a fund 207, which would put that money inside of that police fund. And then the expenditures related to the contract with, I believe it's the county, right, would then be coming out of that fund as well. And so that would be one of the things that I would recommend going forward, would be you should make that adjustment in the budget so that those monies that we're recording where they're supposed to be recorded. Now, related to marijuana, which is a good clarification, is that it looked like historically you would have offset some of the expenditures related to the marijuana maintenance with that within the general fund. I didn't have any information on how that was being done, so I can't really speak to if any portion of that should be recognized within the general fund or not. But it would be something that I think you could look at going forward. In other words, the marijuana expenses that you have might actually should be charged to the police fund to recognize that they're related, those activities are related to that. I'm not sure if I explained those questions very well, but also on the road maintenance, there's a question about road maintenance. There is $350,000 identified within the budget for roads, for road maintenance, for road improvements. Obviously, they'd have to work with the county, which I think is what you're referring to determine those projects for the upcoming year. And then the other question, which is on the balanced budget, is I think a great question, because it's important to understand when we talk about governmental budgeting, there's an important thing to understand in the management, and that is your fund balance. And so over time, as your revenues exceed your expenditures, communities grow their fund balance. And your fund balance is, in essence, I don't want to call it a savings account because it's not a savings account, but it's your rainy day fund. And the purpose of your fund balance is twofold. One is for unplanned, unexpected events. If you, for example, I was a township manager for 11 years. I went through the economic crisis of 2007. State cut revenue sharing dramatically, and we had to continue to provide services. So we were able to use our fund balance to continue to provide services without dipping into any reduction. So those are unplanned and unexpected events. Or it could be expenditures. So this year, for example, many of our northern communities had severe ice storms that weren't expected. So they need to have that money set aside again to pay for those expenditures. The other reason we carry fund balance is for planned expenditures, because there are things that we know that we need to set aside money for the future. So that could be a new roof on the township hall. It could be a big road project that we're saving up money for that's going to occur in several years. And your fund balance is your measurement of fiscal health. And so I always advise that when you're thinking about the budget, the important thing is always step back and look at the big picture. And that big picture should look at two things. One is where are we at with our fund balance? And the other question is, where has it been going? And that gives you a perspective of then, based upon the details of the budget, are we moving in the direction we want to move in? And so when we think about fund balances for townships, the median for charter townships, I don't remember the number exactly, but it's over about 115%, I think. That's the median fund balance for charter townships. And the way we get to that ratio is we take that savings, that reserve that we have, that rainy day fund, and we divide it by our revenues. So if we have $1 million of revenues and we have $1 million of fund balance, then we have 100% fund balance. And again, that median is about 115%. And I'll pass this around here so that everybody can look at it. But the township's fund balance has been going up. So this is a good thing, because again, we look at two things. One is where we're at. You guys are about 75% based upon 2004. So while you're below the median, you're also been going up. So back in 2010, you were less than 10%. And so I'll pass this around in this graph. So this gives you a good perspective. I think it's good to start when we talk about budget conversations, is to start there. Because you got to know, again, where are we at? Where are we going? And then we can understand what the impacts of our decisions are going to be. And so for a community that may want to grow its fund balance, you might, when the question comes to where we have a balanced budget, the really question is whether we're balanced or not, is whether or not we need to be growing our fund balance, or whether or not we have a healthy fund balance, and then we can use that fund balance to reinvest in our community. And in governmental accounting, when we say balanced budget, make sure we understand that term, we mean revenues minus expenditures plus use of fund balance. So as long as you have fund balance, you always have a balanced budget. But again, it's the question of what's my ratio to know whether or not that's really the right question. So hopefully that helps everyone get the question.
Thank you.
So I threw out a lot there, so I'll stop and then see if there's any clarifications that I can make on that.
Thank you.
Well, before you leave, I'm gonna just let you let you look at the worksheet that I gave him. I think it's pretty accurate. You'll know. And it also reflects here what I had the Headley roll back, and I call it special assessment. So
Yeah, you actually should have a million bucks.
yeah, but
So when I looked at the budget, I didn't cross-reference the numbers. I did the same thing, which is I look at this form, which is what the millage rate is going to be, and then I look at what the tax bill value was, and then I calculate those numbers. So for example, for the township collections, yeah, so the number that I had calculated 229,520, and that's the number that you're using there. So those are the same numbers in terms of what I looked at. So they look good.
That was our township tax.
The township tax, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. For police, though, that was the core question. I had calculated higher than that, unless, because you guys had the 839,000. I had calculated closer to 942. So that one would be one you might want to take a close look at. One of the things that's kind of unique with that police, again, is that split. So if you look at the way that was originally approved by the board, again, it was 4.5 mils, 3.5 went to police, and then the remaining goes to fire. But you can't use that same ratio because of Headley, because you're not doing 4.5 mils anymore.
The Headley's on the top two numbers.
Yeah, so you'd have to take that same ratio and roll it back. So that's why I did it by a percentage. I said 77% goes to police and the remaining percent goes to fire. From a budget perspective.
Is that a normal 77 to 23 ratio normal?
Well, that's based upon, again, what your Headley is. So when it was the full 4.5, then the full 3.5 mils went to police, and then the remaining mils went to fire.
Mhm.
But then when it went to 4.3 mils, right, then we have to now use a percentage.
Yep.
And so every time it rolls back, your percentage is going to stay the same
Mhm.
because that's what was approved by the community originally.
Thank you.
thanks. All right.
I had a couple questions on that first page. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have a question too.
Uh-huh.
I have to bring up something. I have, just got it from Calhoun County. I know we're in the budget meeting, but we need to talk about this because this is past taxes. There's about $26,000 in back property taxes, personal property that has not been paid. And I have to give before next Monday, I have to give them a yes or a no if they want us to combine it all together and strike it off. Go together with attorney fees and strike it off. I needed to get that out because
Do you have a breakdown of that?
I have
In your
some
email?
pages. I have all the back property taxes, but I needed to bring this up too, because that was something that all of us have to. I can't just go ahead and tell Calhoun County, knock it out.
Mm-hmm.
I have the back taxes and it was from 2012 to 2020. But that would be something, their attorney fees aren't gonna be as much as ours if we continue to go after them. And so that's why they were trying to strike it off. I'm sorry, it just hit me today that I needed to talk to you guys about it tonight. So I can show you the paperwork tonight before we leave.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you brought that to my attention. I remember that. And I'm saying we should, approve it, because she gotta do it by Monday, right?
Is it on Monday?
I have to give them the yes or no by Monday. But if we do it ourselves, the attorney fees are gonna be astronomical for them to strike it off, or just go after the people. Where if Calhoun County does it, it's a whole bunch of counties coming together.
Aggregating.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gotta get better.
Can you maybe get that before the meeting's over that we could look at quickly, or is it?
Yeah, I can get
Okay,
it before, yeah.
Yeah, and then we could. This one.
I'm sorry. Had to bring it up.
You're right.
I had a couple of questions, if I may. 101-000-000-446, administration fee, 102,000. I requested Joyce on these printouts to see if we could get like the breakdown of what's included in these admin fees. And you said you were working on it, but I didn't see an email come through with any of that information.
So may I don't, it's not my meeting, so.
No, please.
No,
That's what you're here
It's a
for.
workshop, we're all talking.
So your admin fees, just to make sure, the problem, I mean, yeah, I think we all know as we look through this stuff is complex,
Yes.
right? It is very difficult to understand, all of the nuances of local government. Administration fees, though, is an option that you have under state statute to allow you to offset the cost of collecting taxes. So because you're a township and you assess properties and you collect taxes for other taxing authorities, state of Michigan, Calhoun County, I don't know, New Transit Authority, if you guys are part of that taxation group there. But all of those taxing entities receive the benefit of your work, right? So it takes your staff time to collect those, send out tax bills and collect those tax bills and do things like manage personal property and everything else they were just talking about there. So under state statute, we're allowed to assess up to 1% of the tax bill is an administration fee. And that administration fee then is just a raw revenue then to again offset your guys' operating costs associated with that. So it's a difficult number to assess because you don't always know what the total tax bills are going to be. And so I've never, when I've done budgets, actually looked at, I always look at, I like to look at source data first when I can, but that's one where I've always just looked at historical trends. And then I assess it based on that. So your tax administration fee has been going up because in 22 it was 82,000. By 24, it was 93,000. 25, I projected about 102,000. And so it's continued to go. And why does it go up? Well, because taxability goes up. And so then you guys bring in more money because of that. So
Can I add on to there as well? Since COVID, Calhoun County, Battle Creek has not did water cutoffs. And so they are also sending us over with $18,000, $2,500 water bills that we also have to collect on. So it's also that it's going to show on that bill. So it's also going to make that go up a little bit more because they are collecting more from individuals.
Good. More is better.
I'll print it for you. Could you, yeah,
Yes.
because I had quite a
Before you
few
leave
on here,
tonight.
yeah, on the email. My other one was streetlights. And again, Rod, thank you for coming tonight. I do appreciate it. And our conversation yesterday, we kind of clarified this a little bit on two things. The streetlights. We're budgeting 101,000, but it's kind of like an in and out, right? Because the consumer, all that
Yeah.
money goes to consumer.
that-
We don't get any interest, nothing off of that money.
The number from that was, taking all of the last year's worth of streetlights, the last 12 months with the
Mhm.
streetlights.
Okay.
And then,
Utility bills.
yes,
Yeah. So you took the last, so you pay, residents are paying arrears, right? So you have 12 months of actual
Correct.
expenditures, you know what they are, and then you especially assess them, and the residents in the upcoming year
Correct.
pay for that. So you're always a year
Correct.
behind. Yeah. So you pay.
that's where that came from.
So that'll lag that 9,000 different.
Yes,
Okay.
it always lag, yeah,
Okay.
because you're collecting on last year, but now your expense is gonna be higher
Mhm.
because they're gonna charge more for utilities.
Okay.
So thus, then next year you'll catch up, so you'll always
Yeah.
be catching up.
Okay. I just want to make sure that money wasn't sitting with us, which it won't.
Yeah.
And then the one other thing that I had talked to you as well, the local community stabilization, it's up 5,500. We talked about that. Could you kind of explain that to us?
Yeah, so the local community stabilization, this actually goes back to the personal property. And that in Michigan, our businesses, used to have, all of our businesses used to have to pay personal property. State of Michigan, just wanted to eliminate that for most of our businesses, not all. And when they did that, though, the impact was a loss of revenue stream for our local governments. And so what they did is they replaced personal property taxes that you used to receive with this concept called the local community stabilization fund. And so that money is money that they receive through other methods now, and then that gets transferred back down to our local communities. And so there is a state website that you can go to and look at what those distributions have been. I don't know. I had about 13,500, which is what you guys got here.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what I had estimated, looking at the historical data as well as more recent data on the state website. So for example, in 2025, I was able to look at what you guys should have received from the state. It was 13,185. So I bumped it up about $400. That's what, again, it's been increasing slowly over those last few years.
So Rod, is that gonna have something to do with the back property, personal property taxes that I'm dealing with now? Is that to cover some of that?
No,
Okay.
those would be disconnected because you still have some. I think it should be disconnected.
Okay,
So I want to clarify that. I could be wrong on this. But you still have some businesses that pay personal property taxes. And
Yeah.
unlike real property taxes, which gets transferred to the county and then you get paid in full on that, personal property collection is 100% your responsibility. And this is one reason why, frankly, I think it was a good thing the state got rid of it, because it's very difficult to collect on. And so what you mentioned from 2012 to 2020, I think, I mean, that's just old debts.
right.
That, you probably aren't gonna collect on, the returns on that are low. It's logical to remove that. And
Okay.
it doesn't affect your budget, right? Because
Okay,
you're not gonna be collecting it anyway.
right.
So no, I think the short answer to the question, local community station is a different thing,
Okay,
a different beast now.
thank you.
We also talked about one other thing, the MI Community Finance Dashboard,
Mhm.
which you said that's a very good resource. I
Yeah.
went online.
That was that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, just to put it out to the public, even the public can go on there and see all of our, expenditures, the revenues, all that stuff. I mean, that's really a nice tool
Yeah.
to get in there and start learning things on.
Yeah, and the nice thing about that tool is it takes your data. So you have to submit your data to the state called an F-65. They take all that data for all the jurisdictions and they make it available from a transparency perspective.
Mhm.
The advantage of it is, one, is like you said, the residents can look at it, but two, you can do things like print big graphs that I printed out so that you can see what those trends and lines are. You can actually click in and dig deeper. You can also look at things like at the bottom right, it allows you to compare yourself as a percentile. So you can see, how do I compare myself to other townships in the state of Michigan? And then if you really want to get into it, you can actually go in there and select other communities, and then you can compare yourself to other communities. Like, okay, where are our revenues like compared to other, you can really get into
Yeah,
it. if you
very
want to.
nice.
Just benchmarking tool.
And we did talk about one other thing, if you don't mind. On this one here, you were saying that another column, we could have had a projected column that would have kind of helped push this a little more.
Yeah, so, a couple things on that, like, just like this conversation we're having now, and like what was the first question? About, oh, the cable franchise fees.
Mhm.
By having, a little bit more information, it helps look at and ask some of those questions in terms of where are the trends going, so that we can look for exceptions. What's changed on that? So when I put together the budget, for myself internally, I always include 3 years of historical information. Because then I can look back and I can see what's occurring and see if is a trend linear, are there big ups and downs and swings, and that allows me to dig a little bit deeper. Additionally, under state statute, when you actually pass your budget, you have to have 3 columns on your budget at a minimum. And those would be the prior year actual. So that would be your 2024 actual activity. You have to have the 2025 projected. So that's what you think that you will be at the end of this month. It's not what we originally budgeted, and it's also not your activity through today as an example. It's actually what you think you're going to be at December 31st. And then you obviously have to have what you're requesting, what you're approving for next year. So just, you want to make sure that when you print those reports, that those include those 3 columns. The other thing that PA2 of 1968, which is the act that governs our local governments putting together budgets, is beginning and ending fund balance. And I think you guys have that on your budgets. Because again, when we talk about, yeah, you have that on it. When you think about monitoring your budget, I said you have to know what your fund balance is. So for example, if I show a budget that says I'm using $1 million, my revenues are $1 million less than my expenditures, that doesn't tell me anything. Because if my fund balance is $50 million, it's no big deal. If my fund balance is $2 million, it's a whole different equation. So that's why you want to have your beginning and ending fund balance on there.
Okay.
And again, that's under state statute.
Anybody else?
I'm good on page 1 if everybody else is.
Questions on page 2?
I have one more question. I do apologize. Page 1 for the interest. We were 100,000 in 2025 original one. Now we're popping it up to 165 for requested. So that 65,000 is a big number. Where would we get that kind of interest? I guess is my question. It might be better to be high, but I don't know. That's a high number for expectation of interest.
Well, I've only had on one account only that I've invested money in. It was put in January 29th and we're at 106,000 already this year. And we're not even closing out the end of the year yet.
What
And that's
account is
on-
that one? Do you know?
It's Michigan class, offer Michigan class, and that's just one of them, and I believe there's 4 in there, 5 in there.
Okay.
Christie, if I may ask, do you use pooled cash? So would that be money that would be all general fund money, or would that be money that would be technically for police and fire and sewer and water?
I'm not sure. That was something that I had talked to Heather about, because there is a sewer fund, there is a road fund in there, there's the cemetery fund. This was just the money when I came on that was in general fund, that was taken out of general fund and put into.
Because because that's the other thing I'm cautioning with, because when we do cash management in governments, we take all the money together and we push it together in the
Right.
back end, right? So that's called full cash, and then we invest this. But then if we do that, we have to make sure that each of those funds get their fair share. of
Right,
interest.
and that's why I never did the roads funds together and,
Just keep it separate.
Yeah.
It's easier to track
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, yeah. So interest, I'll be honest with you, interest is one of those that I struggle the most with, because nobody knows.
Yeah.
All right, it is, in my mind, it's a complete shot in the dark, because we don't know what's gonna happen, with interest rates, if they've been going up or down. I tend to budget very conservatively on the interest number, because, it's such an unknown, and I don't want to assume we're gonna have a revenue, and then that revenue goes away, and then we have to adjust later on.
Yeah.
And so I tend to be very conservative on that number versus other numbers. Again, I try to look at source documents and I look at history and I can be more confident on that one. So it's difficult. But again, if you've got 106 so far,
105.
105. So
It's
165
something like
might
that.
still be high though for next year. And I would probably still, here, ask my
So
opinion.
this
Sure.
is fluid. We can
What's that?
change, this is fluid. We can change. the-
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's probably one that I probably would be able to go back, because again, the Fed keeps talking about lowering interest rates, and that's gonna directly
Right.
impact what you guys are gonna get.
Right.
too.
Then our expectations are probably too high on that.
It
probably,
could
yeah.
be, again, yeah, that's a tough.
So what's everyone thinking?
I'm sorry, what, Trace?
What's everyone thinking?
What would you do? Put it back down to 25,000 and then anything above
Well-
that? I mean, I don't know.
No, because it was 100,000.
It was 100 last year.
25.
Oh, okay, I was looking
Yep,
at
yep,
24.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, yeah. So I don't know,
So when I did the budget, I said 85.
85.
Because again, historically,
No.
again, you had 118, 110, 94. Now you're, let's say you're gonna be 120. 85 is probably too low. But again,
better be low than.
but it's better to be a little bit lower than
Yeah.
that.
And just one question about Michigan class, if you don't mind me asking. A lot of townships use that?
Correct.
Okay, and is it FDIC insured? Do you know? I don't believe that it is. That's a concern I've seen, that I just have a concern with that.
I don't know.
With Michigan class, it is connected directly to the account that it comes out of. And there is nobody that can get into the back end of that account that is connected. You can only take the money from Michigan class and put it back into the account, or take it from the account and put it back in there. There is no other outsourcing to that at all. There's no, but I believe it is fact, and that is something that we can, I'd have Jeff talk about it.
Yeah, so you bring a good question, and this is the challenge that you have with local government, is that this isn't your money, this is other people's money,
Yeah.
so we want to make sure we protect it. But it's also a balance, because especially the last 3 or 4 years when we've had extremely high interest rates, there's a lot of communities I work with that just keep all their money in cash. But yeah, it's protected, but then you're missing it out. It's an opportunity loss, right? Because you're not getting interest. I really like Michigan class, because the advantage of Michigan class, I mean, I'm not being an advocate for them, but the challenge that governments have prior to entity like Michigan class is you have to do more cash flow analysis, because if I'm investing in things like CDs, I'm locking up my money. If I'm locking up my money, I got to make sure that I don't need that later on, right? So Michigan class has an advantage of, it works more like a savings account, where you can put the money in one day, you can pull it out the next day. But your question is a valid question, which is, okay, how much is at risk, right? If we have a banking collapse, which is what we're concerned with, obviously, with checking and savings accounts, do we lose all that money? That's why FDIC insurance. Now, investments, CDs and those types of things, we know that we're putting ourselves at a significant risk on those. But again, there has to be a certain level of comfort that you have with how much that we were going to have. Now, going forward, some communities will develop more detailed investment policies that help guide some of that training. But ultimately, I think Joyce or Christy, excuse me, said the right thing would be, I would recommend you bring in somebody like Jeff Anderson from Michigan class and talk to you guys. And,
Yeah.
Because I'm not an expert in this whatsoever. So, but he's just one person too.
And I
So-
can also add in, what is it, the $250,000 for the FDIC?
Yeah.
That's it. If somebody goes into your bank account and it's connected to a savings account, $250,000, that's all you get back.
Yeah.
With
I
the
understand that,
FDIC.
but it's at least still something is all I'm saying, but if.
But it's a good point, though, the dollars a year, we're talking about millions. And again, most communities have risk here because the only way that you can get beyond that is by investing in multiple banks. And then that becomes administrative burden. And again, now we're back to risk. So, again, I don't know the answer to those, but those are the, the things that y'all ultimately have to figure out, the general
Yeah.
for you guys.
Thank you.
All right, so we want to lower the interest, potential to 85,000.
Mhm.
We'll pencil, everybody pencil it in now. Okay. What else we got for page 2?
Page 1, Randy, that we're all looking on.
Go back to page 2.
You ready? Thank you. Joyce, I had a question on 2 for the audit cost, 101-801-002. That 26, and we're budgeting, well, we're requesting 55, so that's like a $29,000 difference. And you're saying that's for the water?
So we have, well, there's one portion that's a single audit that we pay for, and then, we have Manifest Harrison that does the pre-audit prep, so it's all part of it. So there's,
But if we have to have it an audit on the River Road, that's included in this.
yes,
Okay, so it would cover it. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
The single audit, I don't know, will you need that again next year?
it's not closed yet. Yeah, it's closing soon, within the next,
Week.
Hopefully, they're confident.
this year.
But you've already, it's when you, not when you receive the money, it's when you spend the money. So will you spend any more of that money, that federal money in 2026? Or
No.
will it all be spent in 25?
It should be finished in 2025,
Yeah,
spent in
so-
2025.
Theoretically, you won't have to do a single audit in 26. Because you'll spend all the money.
Okay.
I believe. But yeah, I would check with, obviously,
With Jeff,
auditors. and
okay.
Verify that, yeah.
The BSNA software, 1865 last year, we're down to 18. Is that sufficient to cover? I know we talked about the cloud and stuff, but
Mhm.
is that something that needs to be,
I think that's probably low.
yeah, that's a 47,000.
It was 65 though, because you bought the online version, right, percent, or?
We haven't moved into it though.
Yeah, okay, good.
How we paid it though?
We have
I'm
an
not sure.
online version?
It's
that-
the cloud.
Cloud,
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so okay. And we've paid for that already then.
I believe we paid
It's
part of it.
already,
I'd have to,
it's already paid for.
Okay. 100% the cloud is paid for the transfer over?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like 95%, we've already paid for it.
As of August, you'd only had spent $16,000.
And that's why they were pressing us to go ahead and do it. You say you already paid for it for till next year.
I would probably check on that number to make sure.
Yeah, 16,000 I don't think would cover
Yeah.
that transfer over. I wouldn't think, but.
I don't think so either.
No, it's gonna be
Actually,
pretty
looking at, I
expensive.
mean, I see the 65 high, almost think the 35,
I was gonna say, doesn't it run
It was
about 35 a
the year
year?
before.
right, so I would think 35 as opposed to 65.
But you paid,
We still have to pay for the
Service fees.
service fees for each program we have. There's a fee involved for the
So a
support,
monthly fee or whatever.
a support fee, it's
Yeah.
for the year.
So should we change that?
I think
I probably would,
to 35,
yeah.
is that what everyone's thinking?
Is. I'm gonna ask that.
well, let's just change it, but I think we'll be fine if we change it.
Being on the expense side, I gotta go high.
Yeah, and have it
I
available.
gotta go high. We're flipping our strategy now.
No,
Oh, I
I'm
thought you were gonna
agreeing.
say something,
No,
yeah.
I'm agreeing. I'd rather be
Yeah.
high on that.
Yeah.
than Low.
Cause you never know with technology, truly.
That's true.
It's, things change every day.
So 35 then?
That's what I wrote down. Is that what you guys have, 35?
That's, I wrote 35,000.
Did you notice that you guys have a contingency fund on here,
Mhm.
80,000? This is a philosophy thing, and so I'll give you my philosophy, it doesn't mean it's the right thing. And that is, I am not in favor of contingency funds. And the reason I'm not in favor of them is because I believe that when you put together the budget, you should put together what you believe is the best budget based on what you know. But also understand that the budget is a plan, and with all plans will change. And part of your fiduciary responsibility is to monitor that budget and adjust accordingly. And so I like to not include those. And then if stuff does come up, then the normal process is you come back to the board and the board considers it, and if they approve it, then you do it a budget adjustment at that time. But it's a philosophy thing. There are a lot of communities I work with that like the contingency, it works for them. And if it works for you, there's nothing wrong with it. Again, this is just a philosophy thing. It's just different from my philosophy.
Thank you. How do you feel about that, Randy? I guess the contingency and the capital outlay, what's your thought?
If you remember the last meeting that
Mhm.
we had, I was riding in this boat, and I didn't even talk to him, but we were saying the same thing. But,
I think that was me that advocated for the contingency fund,
Mhm.
because in my personal budget, I always have a bit of a slush.
Buffer.
Buffer. I like buffer.
Buffer better. Your guys' buffer, your fund balance. Yeah, the counter argument that I would make, again, this is neither right or wrong, is that my wife's not here, so I can say it, which is if I give her a contingency fund, she's gonna spend that, right? So that would be the only side. Does it encourage you to come back and forth? Oh, we've got 80,000 extra, and then you're more likely to spend it. So,
But if
but
you don't have it to dip in it,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Again, neither is right or wrong.
All right. Anybody spot anything else on this page?
I think so.
Page 4.
Salaries.
Yeah, do we kind of want to do the same thing and go through and come back to it for them, maybe? Yeah,
Maybe we can skip salaries and come back to them.
yeah. If we skip page 4 and 5, go to 6, and then we can come back to those again like we did last week into the fire department appropriation.
Okay. We're on page 6.
Mhm.
We just went through this though, right?
Mhm. I'm good. I'm just asking if anybody has questions.
All right, so now we'll go to these salaries, right?
Page 7. If anybody has any further questions on the pages. So-
Fire.
If you don't mind me asking, Red, for the fire millage operating 1 of 2 and then 1 mill of 4, those numbers look pretty solid for us. On page 7, if you have that.
Yeah. Yeah, I had them a little bit higher,
Mhm.
I did.
um. But I would have to look, I would have to go back and look to see if that, if I can justify them being higher.
Mhm.
No, I don't see a red flag.
Okay, he's good. Page 8 on fire department, I guess is everybody got now?
This is the million, right? One of the millions.
So did the chief give you any updates, any
Nothing to
salary change, nothing to change?
Everything is staying the same for him?
Yeah.
I don't think anything really one side. Other than. Insurance went up 10, that's just probably the cost of everything, I'm assuming.
And we've had, yes, and we had an accident and
Yeah,
that'll probably increase it.
Even more.
Yeah, I think,
Let alone. Yeah,
mhm.
like, if you ever seen your homeowner's bill lately,
Oh, gosh,
Get ready.
it's awful. I
get
know.
ready.
Yeah. And then the one other, thing for hourly, 25, it was 156,000 for hourly, but it's down to 115, that's like 41,000 less. The chief was good with those numbers on that?
Yes,
Yeah,
So from an expenditure perspective, again, by looking at the budget, we don't see what happened. And so you guys had budgeted 156,000, but historically you had spent 91,000, 108,000, and then I had estimated about 102, but again, that was only estimate from August. So
mhm.
yeah, 156, unless there's some big change, you're hiring a lot more firefighters or something else that's happening. Based on that trend line, the 115 is probably in line with what you've historically spent.
Okay.
Unless you get large pay raises, if there's something that I get from now.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about the repair and maintenance of
that's what I was just
equipment.
looking at.
$50,000 seems light on that, but,
It was 80,
well, I'm just thinking our fleet is aging. What has our trend been on that? Is that,
Yeah, see, that's a good question, because it was 36, but then it was 71, and then 39, and then I had projected about 35. I think if you average all of those, 50 is probably about an average, but again, you could have a 70 year too.
okay, I'm just thinking, and our former fire chief and our current fire chief has reminded us that our equipment is aging, and I know that my older cars have always cost me more to keep on the road than my newer cars.
Well,
Just checking.
I think he's making that projection also from they take their equipment down at the city. And they get just a flat rate from the city. With no, like taking it to a regular shop where labor fees and all other stuff applies, the city don't charge them that. That was an arrangement that I made when I was here, and they're still living with it. And in addition, they do that with the gas, right, Chief? Oh, he didn't hear,
Yes.
but anyway, that's,
Oh, I think he heard you.
yeah, that was the. No, I was just explaining to him that, we had made arrangement way back in 18 with the city to take our vehicles down there and also buy gas down there. And they don't charge us any other than what the cost is.
Well, gaskets now, we pick it up down in the city and stuff up in there,
Like I said, I just wanted to make sure that we had them properly funded.
but I don't know what your budget, that's.
No, but I know, I talked with Bill and that's.
Fire department situation up in there because,
since I took it over, come chief 22 years ago, this township was $80,000 in the hole. Cause they bought trucks from the city, which they should have never, but anyway. Took 2 years for me to take it out of the hole, and I've kept it out of the hole ever since.
Yep.
But you don't realize what you've got right now and planned ahead of you. You know, I'm willing to sit down with the whole board right here in an afternoon and talk with you and tell you what problems you've got in this township, trying to bring it back to where it originally was and stuff. And you don't know what you got. You got problems out there in one right now. You're gonna have problems with the insurance company. You're gonna have problems with the whole township when they find out you have no fire protection out there right now. You have no building in process of building out there. I gave a board here 4, maybe 6 years ago to build 2 stations out there, 2 bays, just under $1 million. Get one down the drain, never followed up on it. Now you got a bid here a while back. It was $1,900,000 to build 2 bays, $500,000 to build a maintenance building. Hell, you could build another station bay out there for less than $500. Put maintenance right in there. Put 3 bays. You got the room out there. I laid it out 80 by 100 feet. You can get 3 bays right in there. Engine right now. You got an engine here. You got 2 tankers and 2 grass rigs that are 22 years old. We bought them in 2003. You're going to have problems. 15 years, you're supposed to start looking at replacing engines out there and stuff. Right now, that engine right there, 3 years ago, I bought that new one for Station 3. It was $600,000. Right now, at $1 million. You got an engine that you purchased, laid a payment down on $525 or $50,000 down payment on it. 2 years to build it. Well, within another year or so, you might be having it call to have it put here. Where are you going to put it? You got no station here at Wind. You can't put it in the 3. You're going to go down to the farm field down here and buy one of them tents and put it in out there and put it under the tent. No, you've got to move on stuff, people. You've got to get with the people and find out what the hell the people want to bring this village back. I have lived out here in this village for 60 years. I was born out here, went military, and come back to live out here in the station. 2 years after I got out here, they asked me to fire department #1 station because that's where all the phone calls, fire department calls come into. They were protected out of the Station 1. But you know what the history of this township is. A lot of you are up here know. I worked with Randy when he was the supervisor before. I had no problems with him and stuff, and working with him and stuff up there. I worked with Joyce on a few things and stuff with the budget kept going and stuff. The people I do not know, I've never worked with you that much and stuff, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to find out and know some things, get with somebody that's lived out in the township. Figure what these people have, bring these people in. You know, I don't know, send a letter out to them and tell them, hey, what do you want in this township? Come in and visit Randy or somebody, bring your information in. What do you want? They don't, then hell, I guess they don't care. But you got a lot of people that care about with this township. What do I do? The old mill got burnt down because it got a bunch of crap put in there, and the young kids started burn it twice. He burnt it a little thick, but he did a good job on it. But you got property. You get right in the village. You got a green house right there, set there on the road. It's about to fall down, and it should be condemned and tore on down. But the park down there, where's your park committee? The lady that was in charge of it, she quit because she couldn't get no movement, I guess, from the township on something there. So they did get some new tables, garbage cans and stuff, but you got a bathroom down there now. 2 problems. I can tell you what your problem is. You used to have carnivals down there. You used to have a big parade in the village would come through where you had Shriners with their cars and stuff. You had vans come through. You had the fire, their trucks all come through on that. It would come from the Mason Temple down to the village, park down into there. Nobody was contacted this fall festival about down there. Last year, we had it for a couple of years. We had a lot of people in there. You had the church involved on a lot of stuff sitting down in there and stuff. Nobody was contacted about it. How come?
Well,
If you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you.
we're gonna talk,
Cause I ain't gonna take no 3 minutes up on the board up there. It's gonna take me longer than 3 minutes to.
we're gonna talk to you because citizen input is very important and I'm sure everybody up here.
Yeah,
Uh,
we need to do better.
yeah, and we gotta get, our parks.
I'm willing to deal with it, but if you don't talk to me, I'm not gonna talk to you. You're gonna pay, you're gonna feel the heartache.
Yeah. We're gonna do some good things in the parks though this year and everybody will be surprised. Okay, let's go on we're on page 9 now, 9 of 9.
I have one, I think there's an error on the fire department for the salary,
Okay,
because it's down 1,300, 1,250. I don't think it was meant to go down for the salary, right? That's the fire chief salary.
no,
Well, it was 8,000 this year, and next year requested is 6,750.
Do we have a proposal of what he requested? Do we know?
I don't think you would go down.
No, it should
No,
never.
I would-
should-
I think it was said during his interview that it was 8,000.
So change,
So it stayed the same?
I would
thinking?
keep it the same.
Yeah.
well, when I talked to him, Monday, we need to change it, we will, but this is what he told me, so.
Well, salary shouldn't go down.
I don't think a salary,
I understand.
okay.
Not-
So
not
leave it at the
fair.
6,750 right now?
No, leave it at the 8,000, let's leave it at the 8,000.
Okay. We'll change it to, okay.
Got 5,525. 25, it would give me a data through August. When you extrapolate that out, that's a total of 6,000. So, but I don't know if you saw they give new fire chief a new contract. Historically, that seems to be an eye, but I don't know.
Just pencil in it at 8,000. Man, that's,
Page 9, there's
So we're
nothing
gonna
with
see
sewer.
it the way it is,
Stays or anything.
8,000,
8,000.
yeah. Page 9. You got some more purpose.
Well, could I have this thing?
It is 8,000 and,
Do they have what you got?
If it was 8,000 per month. Okay. Cody said it was 8,000 in the minute, so,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I recall.
yeah.
Let's do it. And
So page 9, there's nothing on the sewer for interest to do, I mean, is that correct?
So 702 is a trust and agency account.
Mhm.
That's not an account that you would budget for at all. The trust and agency accounts are money that you're holding that are other people's money and you're just holding it. So,
I'm saying about,
yeah, that goes out. So it's not something that you're required to budget for. There's no reason.
there's something worse.
Dog license was new this year.
So we're everybody at 13 now? Yeah.
And look at it for that.
That's the.
So obviously with the estimated revenue off funds and then the appropriation off funds, that's just minus to come up with that balance.
Yeah.
Was that,
It's all the funds that you have in that sheet.
okay,
So, which is really not frankly a good number to look at. If you got like
Yeah.
each one individually anyway.
and that's, so my question with you being our accountants, do you guys keep an eye on these funds for us, or who does that? When you were saying we need to look at each individual account.
So, I mean, what we focus on is audit preparation. primarily, which is making sure that the auditor comes in, everything is ready for them to do the audit.
Mhm.
So we're not really looking at from a month-to-month perspective in
Yeah,
terms of. We're here to
Yeah.
answer questions,
Yeah.
help guidance,
Yeah.
education, training, that's.
Okay. and Heather was on our call.
Yes.
Yes, there was Heather. And
Yep.
does she do the reconciliations, Joyce, quarterly here?
For the,
Heather, the accountant, does, from the firm, do they do our quarterly reconcile? You do it?
yes.
Oh. I thought she said she did, maybe
She
She
might
come in
help.
quarterly.
quarterly, that's what I meant.
Well, yeah,
She does
just
quarter-
double check.
She comes in and checks everything, but you reconcile it yourself. She just double checks to make sure you're doing it correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
And she'll be back in January, I think.
Mhm.
Rod, if we were going to, put money into a road fund, is this where we would put it? Is that something,
So,
I'm not saying we are, I'm saying. if-
yeah, so. 852, that's, I think that's capital road fund.
That was from the,
So the short answer would be no,
Okay.
because generally speaking, all your money is in your general fund, unless there's a specific reason not to put it in your general fund. So when we talk about the police and fire, those are special revenues. They have to be in there separate. That's what's required. Water and sewer have to be separate because they operate as businesses. And so they use a different method of accounting called full accrual. So those are required to be separate. So for roads, there would be no reason to put that money in or separately. It would be in the township's general fund and just be a department or expenditure in the general fund. Now, again, if you got a millage, which a lot of our townships in the state do, then that question would be different there. Because at that point, yes, then it would be its own fund.
So would that have its own line item? Is that what you're saying, or am I?
If it was a millage or
Okay.
some other restriction for it.
Okay.
So right now, you have in the general fund, you just have a general 101.
Mhm.
Before, I can't remember, road improvement, so 101-265-970-201, you have road improvements. So I assume that's where you're falling into those expenditures out of.
101-265, you said?
Yeah, 101-265-000-970.
and we budgeted 12,000, no.
We did, we got
350.
350,000
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
That's what was on
Okay,
the other sheet.
so that went up significantly from 25 as well.
It'll get worse.
160, yeah, I know, we got roads, we got roads.
And as we know, roads are expensive and
Oh, yeah,
even 350 sounds like a big number, but.
yeah, no, I know we're gonna keep it more, yeah.
What was the number that was given for roads from the county?
That they were gonna match.
Our share was like 347, 215.
Yeah, our share is 347, 215. The county is gonna match the same amount.
Okay.
347, and we had enough, I'm not on that page anymore, we had enough in our account for that, obviously.
350.
350, okay, that's close. Good.
If I don't want to interrupt, but so you can't assume that the county's gonna miss that. And my understanding is that they did not increase their road funding when they did their budget stuff last week. So it was all we could do to get to 200 and whatever that we spent this year. You know, because that goes into the hopper with all the other townships, and then you can overpay if you want. But then that increases your number. So just put that in perspective, like just because we're budgeting 350 doesn't mean that, if you're gonna want to do that and they won't match it, then you have to make up the difference.
Well, it's obviously it's a projection. We can't.
Right, no, I understand, but I mean, you're budgeting as if that is gonna happen, and that may not necessarily be the case.
Yeah.
Good to know, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the way to look at those, they're budgeting 350, they're not budgeting the match. So
Right.
really the question becomes is going to the counter and saying, okay, we want to spend $350, what can we get for $350? And then they're gonna come to the table and say, well, this is all we're gonna give you. And then you have a decision to make of, okay, do we, like you said, do we pay more? Or do we just not spend that money? Now, I can tell you that, I don't know if I want to use the word most because I don't have data on this, but intuitively, I would say the majority of our townships, always pay way more than the match. And the reason they always pay more than the match is because the counties just don't have enough money. They don't get enough money, a revenue stream to maintain our roads at the level they need to be maintained. So the only way that we can do that is that our townships end up paying more, which is why many of our townships have road millages. To pay for that.
Okay, we're gonna take 5-minute break for those who need a break. So, all understanding, like I said, I thought there was, and he gets confirmed that he's the firefighter. We do have a fire truck up there, right?
Yep, we do.
In a new barn.
Right.
They'll say no.
Not new, not brand new.
I pulled it by it the other day.
Yeah.
Works.
Yeah. Photo paper
probably
It's warmer. We'll have to go over and paint.
You want to, but if you don't.
That's spring.
What I can give you before you leave is, the agenda, but I don't have everything they don't have the package put together, but I can give you the agenda. And we don't have much on it, really. We got an Adams thing, we got a resolution for look at our ticket. We got a couple other items on there, but
Okay.
I have to look at it first. I don't remember.
So you'll probably come in tomorrow and finish it up?
Yes, I will. Thank you. I will. I'll do it. Yep,
I had to throw that in there.
I know it. I expect it. I really do. But you'll get it soon, but you can get the agenda, a copy of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fluid because, we gotta put some special language in there for the Adams thing.
Mhm.
I have the resolution already for what else are we? And then there's 2 things and other fresh new things that'll be on there, but we're saving for Tuesday, so.
All right.
Are we back on?
We're back. That was 13, right? We were on?
I thought we finished
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we're finished it. We can go ahead and start with, wages.
Everybody got this sheet?
I've got one in December. I don't think it's.
What sheet? The wage sheet. Salary,
Got one.
Yeah, I got,
the only one there is.
it was a second page. He was saying it was on the other side, but you had to print out too. You got it. Yep, it wasn't, it's a check back side, but they came out.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yep. This one.
That's old.
You don't have this one?
I do. It's on hit Marvin.
Oh.
No, I don't have that.
You don't have this?
I might have it.
I have an extra.
It's, we got it 3 days ago.
Print it out.
The first. This one.
Well, here.
Okay.
We'll share. All right, we're starting on, treasure.
Well, you wanna go down? Oh, okay, go ahead. Yep, sorry.
Go down the list the way it is.
Open this one.
Are we going down the list on
He
two?
wants to start here and go down in his list.
Well, what do you,
I think we should start from here and keep it going in the same direction that we've been going on the paperwork.
So the normal way, that we would normally do it is as we're going through the budget. Then when we approve the salary or came to an understanding for a salary, then we would add it to this sheet in here. So this document was really just a worksheet.
So those numbers aren't.
They're not set in,
Should've said,
I mean,
okay,
they're,
I got you.
but it's normally, once we
Mhm.
figure it out here, then we'd add it here.
Yep.
And then at the board meeting, we approved both. We approved the budget and we also approved the salary sheet.
Okay.
So it was two different things.
All
So we're
right,
just a
so,
little bit,
so we would start with supervisor 161.000. That's the 6,000 for the deputy for you. Randy, if you ever, if you do that, page 2 of 13. We got a few different
sorry,
ones.
the summer was fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Should they have time? That's
Okay,
two
I
of the
have
things
it.
that. What's fun are you on? I'm on the 1 of 2 of 13. We got 1 of 2 of 9.
One that has the past years on it.
Okay,
Which would be the 2 of 13 that you're looking at,
you're
right?
on the second page.
Yep.
Yeah, the 3-column one.
Yeah. Everybody got that, Bruce?
So with,
Yeah, I'm right there.
with that, supervisor, that where it says the 6,000,
Mhm.
that one, will be gone and superintendent will be retitled to supervisor.
Okay.
And so you'll see where the 6,000 went.
But that is for if Randy ever gets a deputy. Is that correct?
The 6,000.
Correct. The
Yeah.
6,000, it'll sit dormant basically, and if you ever want a deputy, then that would be that threshold of the 6,000 would sit there.
Yeah, originally it said supervisor 6,000. I don't know. How do you change it? Well, you guys don't know how to change it.
Yeah, I seen that it was added on to yours and that wouldn't go on there with you, because that would be your deputy pay.
Right.
So we would delete that. So moving down to 161.000 for the supervisor, his regular salary. We have 65,984. And then the 6,000 deputy pay was added into his, which we would need to delete, because that wouldn't be his pay. So the 6,000 would come off of that. The 5506 Social Security, the 4,800 for insurance, that's your stipend. $7,258 for the retirement. And you're zeroing out mileage, you're not asking for any mileage?
Nope. Nope.
And then 1,200 for education, training and physicals.
I do have a question on that one though. If you take the 6,000 out, that is not what he would be making right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, but it's showing it because this is his insurance, his social security, so this is his full package.
Okay, I thought you were
Yep.
taking 6,000 out of it, so I'm like, that's not
Yep.
what he even makes right now.
So this full package is what is there.
So where
So-
would you put the deputy pay?
Wouldn't it go back up into the top, the 161.001 for
Here's-
supervisor, change that to
Here's,
deputy?
So just, I'm sorry, you may have said this and I was not paying attention. All of those expenses you're talking about should be in 161, all of them.
Yep.
And then all of the things in 171 should be zeros.
Correct.
Okay, I thought that's what I wasn't, yeah, listening, okay.
the way the sheet is currently is, it says supervisor $6,000. And then it says superintendent
Mhm.
at a rate. We're gonna take and close out that heading for superintendent and make that supervisor. And that $6,000, it's not even in the supervisor's salary, the $6,000 that was a supervisor will be, instead of calling it superintendent, it would be for deputy, if
Mhm.
I ever had a deputy.
The 6,000, yeah.
You understand?
So my question is, should we budget for that potential on the, if we ever have one? Or would that be something that we come back to amend should we find the need for one?
No, that isn't, see, it's really not changing. It's, all we're doing is switching from superintendent that you was given the 63 to the supervisor, and the supervisor title goes from superintendent to supervisor, and the $6,000 that was supervisor just goes to deputy.
I think he was asking though, should we budget for more money in case you choose to have a deputy?
No, I was
No,
actually arguing the opposite,
Mhm.
because if we're not intending to have a deputy at this point,
Then-
should we budget for it? Because we're budgeting for what we have now, right?
Yeah.
So unless you have aspirations of hiring somebody into that role, then I would think that we don't budget for that. And should we have the need for a deputy supervisor down the road, you would come back to us and ask for an allotment.
Right,
Yep, amend the budget.
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Do-
I would normally take that approach as well.
We could do it that
Not
way.
Plan for, you don't intend to do it and you don't budget for it, but then if plans change, which that's perfectly fine, then you would amend the budget at a later point in time.
and come back to the board to do
Come
it.
back to the board.
Yeah,
Okay, so is that, a delete right there?
the 6,000.
Yeah.
No problem, just scratch it out.
Okay,
Joyce, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Historically, when you guys have gone back and done pay increases, do you just apply a flat percentage?
So we've done it both ways.
Okay,
We've done it, it's usually at the very least cost of living, so like a 3%, and that's when we can't agree on anything, it's just that's what happens. Or some that are underpaid, like I can give you an example, Thor at the cemetery is underpaid. So if we were doing a straight 3%, he is not someone that I would put into that category. Just looking at, that's just my opinion, but it's, you just kind of have to look at.
Yeah.
Where we're standing.
do you know what this COLA is right now? Is it like 2.6 or 8, isn't it? It's not a 3.
I don't know what the current CPI is.
Okay. Okay, so Randy, here it's your $63,038 is what we hired you in for, I believe, without benefits. And then it's going up to 65,984. So you're going up,
63,482.
Yeah, cause you matched the treasurer, so.
which one
And I
what one are
believe-
you looking
I
at?
believe he was put at 63,484 because I make 63,482.
I don't know that we have that one that you have there.
yeah, why not?
I don't have that one. If you're looking at numbers there, Randy, I don't have that sheet.
This is on this one.
Because on this
Budget.
salaries,
Do you have your budget, Paul?
So, according to the Social Security and Supplemental Security income in 2026, there's a 2.8% adjustment.
What'd you guys get last year? Wasn't it like 2.5%?
1%.
Round.
I don't hear you.
It's probably around that. No. Let me look at 24
I
salaries.
remember it last year, they looked up what the state gave out.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that here.
What number am I looking for?
You're looking for the supervisor, but it's not listed on
It's
any.
under this one. I believe it's right here, but it wasn't corrected.
Okay,
It's
so
at the
it
bottom
was,
line. It's not.
it was changed out for Barry.
Yeah,
Then-
that's what it was today.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one.
I just took her times by one.
That's where I was gonna, well, I was just looking
Okay.
at
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so 2.5% last year.
I don't even know. I don't. All right,
Numbers are the same.
maybe. Okay. So I guess we could just go through everybody's first and then see where everybody is. So again, Randy, you're the 63,038.
63,482.
You still have-
I still don't have that.
I don't either.
It wasn't shown, when we hired him and we matched him to the treasurer's salary.
Okay,
So it's not what was on last.
So it was
year's budget.
Yeah,
63,482
Yes.
that's what I
I see that.
remember.
He gets
Actually,
63,484 actually,
Okay.
is what he gets.
or
Yeah.
84.
Yeah.
Okay, so 63,484. So now we need to do that difference adjustment. Does anybody have a calculator?
Yeah, what do you want?
So we do the 65,984 minus 63,484.
63,
480, no, 63,484.
Just a minute. Start over, please.
65.
Give this to you.
Oh, is that a calculator?
Yeah.
Oh, hallelujah. Yeah.
Better than a
Oh,
phone.
sorry, Chrissy.
I got my
Sorry,
phone
the
too.
numbers have changed. So we don't have it.
$2,500.
So 65,271.52 is what my public schools rudimentary math comes up with.
2,500, okay. So that's your raise that you're asking, Randy, is the 2,500. So the
Yeah.
65,984 is without all the benefits.
Did we figure out what percent that was?
I don't. I guess let's kind of go through and get everybody's documented first, maybe, and then we can go back and decide on each one. Because this is different numbers for me here. All right. So we got that. Randy's $2,500 is what Randy has put in for him. Correct,
Okay.
2,500, all right.
I'm not used to
Okay.
dealing with numbers. I'm used to dealing with percentages.
Mhm.
So it's a little,
All right, and you're still at 0 for mileage, you said, Randy, you're not asking for anything for that?
I don't want that.
Okay. All right, maybe we could go, okay, after him, we have elections. 191.
Yeah.
We all good there? So my question, I have two on the top, Joyce. The 101, 191, 702, the first line for salaries.
Mm-hmm.
The $10,000, who does that cover?
That, so, full-time hourly. The 10,000 is for election workers. It's for any office, or it's for any office help. During election, we often have a person that comes in to help with all the ballot stuffing, all the ballot.
Should that be added in with election hourly though? Cause it's under salaries. It really wouldn't be a salary,
No, it's not a
because if it's
salary.
a salary, then we're saying they're getting benefits as well. And they
Right, they're
wouldn't.
not. Mm-mm.
So could that be eliminated and added into
It
the
could be
hourly?
into election hourly.
Is that, Rod, does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So we could actually eliminate or move it up to that top line.
You're moving into election hourly, the 702.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it'd be 50, correct?
it would be, yeah,
Yeah.
50 instead of the 10,
40.
because it's
Mhm.
listed under salaries, that's a little deceiving. Then the other one right underneath that, full-time hourly,
That's the deputy.
yep. So that's a 3,000 raise you're asking for the deputy.
Yes.
So I just have a question and I'm kind of not, I don't know this. So your guys' hours are Monday through Friday,
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday, sorry, 7:30 to 4:30.
Correct.
Okay, so on your checks, do you get paid 36 hours or does it go to a full 40?
36.
36, okay, thank you. All right, and then the retirement in the elections,
Mhm.
5,830, is that all due to Lisa for retirement?
Yes, she's the only one that has retirement with elections.
And then my one other question, has it never been a conflict for her getting paid all election, but she's in the office with you? Should it be a split? Because she's not always working on election, right?
She works on elections every day, because
Mhm.
there's the bookkeeping of elections as well.
But she's also helping you being your deputy and doing other things. So I'm just asking if that's ever
Yeah.
been a,
It hasn't been, but
okay,
I mean, I'm not opposed.
yeah, I wonder, does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, so, one of the things that I'm a big believer in is that it's important to know what it costs to do the different activities of
Right.
government.
Yeah,
And so as part of that, one of the things that you want to try to do is to put your expenditures in the right department. And so, while not required, I think it's a best practice to say, well, if the deputy's spending 50% of her time,
yeah,
then let's charge 50% of elections, 50% to the other guy. Now, the only challenge with that is that on election years where you have presidential and 3 other elections, they're gonna spend more than 50%,
Yeah,
right?
but that's
So-
where she can make that maybe 80-20 or whatever the
Yeah,
difference.
and there are different ways that you can do it. One is just to come up with a ratio. Another one is actually look, sometimes people actually keep track of time,
Mhm.
which gets a little bit obnoxious because it's a lot of work for a little benefit, right?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think generally speaking, going forward, I think for today, I would say approve your budget the way it is now. But I would say going forward, you'd be better off adjusting that, putting a portion.
So we did have, 2024, we had 2,000 of her into admin. And then it was recommended that we move it all to elections, so,
Who recommended that?
at the budget meeting,
In 24?
24, 23.
Yeah, I just don't, I want to make sure that we don't get any back on that, or, you know what I mean? If we're not charging to the right account, if she's doing 50% election and 50% general work, office work, it probably should be broke down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's nothing that requires you to do it
Mhm.
that way.
Mhm.
But if you want to look at what it costs again, in running a clerk's office is very complicated work, right? So when you look at what you're spending on governmental services, it's a good idea to know what that costs to provide the
Mhm.
service.
Yeah,
Because again, they do a tremendous amount of work.
yeah.
So showing that's, I think, important.
Is that feasible, Joyce?
That's,
To-
oh, yeah,
Okay. Okay. All right.
so where are we going with it?
As far as
Dollar wise for each one?
what you would know.
You would know
Yeah.
that, yeah.
What does she do in your office? Does she do like 60-40, 50-50?
It really varies.
You can think about
Just
it.
take a look.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
it is-
recommendation would be approve the budget the way you have here, come back though in your first quarter.
Mhm.
And then that you have lots of time, you can look at it,
Yeah.
there's no rush.
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
The way you're doing it's not wrong,
right,
it's just when we know better, we do better.
yeah,
So then that gives you plenty of time, you do a budget adjustment, and then you move forward.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I'll
there's a lot
track
of
it.
work here,
Yeah.
because you have to,
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to it, yeah. I
yeah,
get
we gotta
that.
make sure we have the right account numbers, we have to make sure those are set up,
Yeah,
so.
okay. Just future,
I'll track it for the first quarter and see where we land.
yeah,
There you go.
and we could even do it at the end of the first quarter,
Okay.
you know, after you track it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right. So we're just gonna go down all of them and then at the end do the approvals of what we're gonna do, okay. So elections is done, assessor. I don't think I have any questions. Anybody else?
So hers went up 3% is what Randy's forecast was,
Yeah,
Yep,
3%.
but it wasn't on the sheet that was sent to you.
Okay.
It was missed.
So if you write in, $38,245,
38,245.
yes.
From 36,727.
38,243.
I think I've got that at 4%, but I could be wrong.
38,245 is what I have, but if you want to.
Yeah, that's
30,
4%.
you want to put 33,
It raises.
43?
38, what's that number, sorry?
I have $38,245.
This form has 243. $2 difference.
It's 4%.
4%.
What the form has? Yeah. So what are we going with, 38,243 or 38,245? I know, but it's hard.
243. I'm sorry.
Go with 243.
Okay.
So that was a 4%, what was that amount
Yeah.
difference?
It was, well, I don't know that I could do it, but the percent was 4.
1,071. How much?
1471
Is the difference.
Thank you, 1471.
I would, again, my public schools brain comes in at 4%.
Yeah.
I did it.
All right. Okay, 4%. Okay. All right. Next one. Board of Review, 209247. Everything looks pretty kosher on that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any
No.
increase.
No.
Board of Appeals, I do know we went down. Any
Why did we-
idea why we went from 1,400 to 750?
Historically, you would spend 644, 500, 225, and as of August, there was nothing recorded in that account, so we don't know what nothing was. So the 1,400 is significantly higher, almost 3 times as much as what we historically spent.
Okay.
So that's the one that Mike talked about, saying that
Gonna pick
it
up.
was gonna pick up because of everything coming through
That's
the
true.
pike.
There'll be a lot coming from the planning commission.
On and as needed.
Yeah.
You know, we get a variance request or something like that. We have
So
one
there-
request this year and then he withdrew it before we ever opened.
So should that be upped?
Can I just advocate for the ZBA real quick?
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt, but
Come on.
so the ZBA has not gotten a pay increase in a long time either. So those numbers that you have, I think are $75 a meeting, Cody, so if I remember correctly. And again, with the new zoning ordinance, I would expect to see more requests that need to go through the ZBA. So, you know, meeting fee increase probably would be appropriate for them, as well as some additional training. You know, they have not met this year. You know, there's no requirement that says they have to. But, you know, in lieu of, you know, an actual request, it may not be a bad idea to budget a meeting or two for them. They can do a training.
Yeah.
And that's just in my talking with Commissioner Brown, which is our liaison from the planning commission to the ZBA. I don't even know, do they have a chair, Cody?
Currently, no, so
Yeah.
Terry was the chair, and then she stopped being the chair, obviously, when she was supervisor. And then we were gonna try and figure that out when we had the request earlier this year, and then that guy withdrew his request again.
So just to make things easy for you guys, there's five members on that, or the potential for 5 members on that board. So I would simply say quarter, you know, I would recommend, again, if I'm overstepping, tell me to be quiet, by the way.
No, we're doing
You know, so just figure on quarterly meetings, 4 times 5 members times whatever you feel is appropriate for the meeting fee. And then, you know, some training funds there.
Did you submit anything, Mike, for anything? No,
For the ZBA,
No.
no,
He did.
anything at all?
He
Did
did.
you submit?
Yeah,
Okay,
he
I got
did.
that. Okay, thank you.
Well, would we wanna take the meetings up to $100?
We're at 75 now. Yeah.
I think that'd be fair.
So then if you had, it would be 2,000 for 4 meetings with 5 people, right?
Let's take it up to $100.
Per meeting.
That'd be 500 times 4, be
2,000, yeah.
And then education,
1,000 budgeted.
And again, those books are expensive.
Yeah, we might need a up education.
so 2,000, you think there, or
I don't know.
2,500?
You say there's 5 people on that board?
Mhm.
I should probably do 400 for each,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think it's 2,000. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to 75, pencil in 100, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the border review.
I have nothing to do with the board review. Board reviews for, the assessor. We hold it twice a year.
I'm saying, make that $100 too.
Just to note though, on your Board of Appeals, your taxes on Social Security would go up from 51 to 153.
Okay.
as
I was
well.
gonna do that.
153?
Yeah,
0.0765.
yes.
What was the board of review getting paid as?
75,
We ought to take that up to
100.
100, just to be fair. They probably haven't had an increase in ages.
So we'll just pencil all this in and then vote on it all at the end, individual, I think that makes sense. Then we're page 3 of 3, it looks like we're doing the clerk.
So
I got planning commission.
Oh, you got, did I miss the planning commission?
Yeah, it's on this sheet.
Yeah,
Was it on the same one?
3 of 13.
3 of 13.
13, oh. Oh, and that's right over, sorry.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's. Kicking it in, I think.
Biased.
All right,
Oh, excuse me.
the salaries looks like it's upping about 6,500 maybe, just 7, I don't know.
7550.
75.
7550. Attorney fees, professional services.
I will say they're a hardworking bunch.
They are.
And have a monumental work that probably others on other reviews or commissions don't do. I hope I never see
So-
another marijuana application.
On the planning commission, on that one, is the salary on that one just for one person, or is that everybody included?
Everyone.
They get paid $100 as well, commuting.
So what we are shooting for.
Cody, do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Go
Would
ahead.
the board like me to do it?
I'd like to
I-
try to do it.
I am here. I will speak as the planning commission chair
Yeah.
at this point, not a resident. So I did submit a budget request in August, Terry as requested. That provided an initial number with an increase in both our training, the attorney fees, professional services based upon what we have historically seen coming down the pike the last 2 years. That also had a raise per meeting for the members. The secretary does get paid a little bit more per meeting. The chair was moved to a stipend a few years ago. So the stipend continued with an increase. And then, I proposed a per meeting fee for the chair as well. So that's why there's an increase there of a little bit more. And that was all broken down there, on the first thing that I submitted. And then we've subsequently, since I submitted that, done a few more reviews of some other stuff. And, we increased that a little bit more given the volume of work that we're having.
Yeah.
The only other thing I'll say there is I believe that there is a way to make the planning commission more revenue neutral. I have asked the board for the last 3 years to do, an evaluation of the fee structure, and offered my assistance and the zoning administrator's assistance in guiding that. Because, we have a pretty good grasp on, when we make an ordinance, for instance, if we come up with a new ordinance, that could cost anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000. Professional services, if we're getting a lot of special land use reviews, if we don't adjust our fee structure, like right now, if we process a special land use, we have $500. That doesn't even cover the publication. Just to give you an example of the work that is being done by the planning commission, we just processed the marijuana one. We did that entire site review and finding of fact ourselves. And by ourselves, I set everything up, appropriately and formatted it, and then we went over it as a commission. That alone took me 30+ hours that month alone to do it that way. Because we don't have an escrow fee and a fee structure that would allow us to, charge that to an attorney or whatever. Now, this group that we have right now, that's why I, advocated for us to get raises. Everyone is fully engaged and we have really upped the level of expectation that we are operating at. And, our reviewing is Trustee McKay had said, he hopes he never sees another marijuana one. We are doing things at a very high level, very thoroughly. I mean, every time you turn on, MTA or whatever, you see there's a township being sued because they did not follow their process and procedure appropriately.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that can't happen, but we're doing everything that we can. And when we're doing that, I think our average meeting time this year was a little over 2 hours and 40 minutes. And those are very long. You've watched them, or heard me squawk about them, I'm sure. So, but anyway, that's just kind of, I guess, a basis there. If there's a specific question I can answer, I will do that as well.
I have a question. You said you gave that to Terry. You sent that to Terry in August. Do
Correct.
we have that?
So I sent it to Terry in August, and then,
Okay.
when the board had discussed maybe doing a budget thing or whatever in October, and that didn't happen, I did resubmit it I sent it to our liaison and the clerk, and the supervisor.
Yeah.
And then,
That's it, that's his.
Okay. We didn't get it, so.
oh, no, that's.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's
That
a
has
little
it.
different now, that was an initial request,
Mhm.
and then, we've, had some time to think about. And whatnot. I believe that the number that is here reflects the increase in both the meeting fee for the planning commission members themselves, an increase in the stipend for the chair, and then adding a meeting fee for the chair. Now, I will say, I chose to do it that way because I have had zero traction getting a fee structure changed to where compensation can be given to, using myself as the example here, specifically for all the out of, meetings that I'm doing. Like, for instance, when we process consumers on their solar application, I met with them during the day with our attorney 6 different times. No compensation was given.
Yeah.
If we format a fee structure more appropriately, we could bill those a little bit differently, and it wouldn't have to be something that, you're gonna commit to as a large, thing right there. But given the fact that there's been no traction there, I feel it's appropriate that this is the easiest way and cleanest way to handle it. And then next year, if we have some traction, evaluating a fee structure.
Yeah.
Then you can look at those numbers.
Yeah, and then when you said that you attend meetings, which I know you do, you don't charge mileage or anything to us for that. Is that correct?
No, I've never charged.
Okay, so just asking. Thank you.
No.
I didn't see it on here.
Yeah. Okay.
Ignore that question.
You got it.
So just so I understand it, the fee for the meetings, you want to go from 150 to 200? That's the breakdown?
I don't know.
That's
if
the
I have an
original.
accurate.
Okay.
Is that the one that we?
Nope, he has the original one. He submitted back in August.
Okay.
So then after, yeah.
Well, just give it to us.
Yeah, this is what was
Give me
sent
one
to.
second, Bruce. I went ahead and updated my sheet. We'll look at it here.
I have them in here if you don't
Do
mind.
you? Okay, I believe I got it right here.
So these numbers are accurate on here, or?
It don't sound like it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
What are you
Bruce,
looking at?
so to answer your question, a general planning commission member, which is not the secretary,
Right.
the chair.
Can you?
So that would be the other member and the liaison, will get $200 a meeting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
200, did you say 200?
I thought that's what I said.
Okay, yeah, you did.
So what's Cody got?
The, salary sheet. Wait,
You're looking at the back one.
that second
The
page,
second page of that.
those are
Okay.
accurate.
So then,
Yeah, so I don't have that page that you're looking at. I don't have that, just so you know.
This one?
Correct, yeah, whatever salary sheet you guys have, I do not have.
So on the salary sheet right now,
Yep.
for planning commission, we have 150, no, we have 200 per meeting, 10
Yep.
times per year.
Yep.
For the chair, we have 300 per meeting.
Yep.
And then we have the monthly stipend for 500 per month.
Yep.
And then the PC secretary, 225 per meeting, which she takes your notes, so very agreeable. And that's it.
Okay, yeah.
That's the good numbers.
Yeah, no, that's what I show.
Okay.
You take that salary number and break that down,
Okay,
and that's based upon the 10 meetings.
okay.
And then obviously for the per meeting fee, if I'm not there to run it, just like any other member of the commission,
Mhm.
if they do not attend the meeting, they do not pay for the meeting.
Okay.
That is different than what the board itself, you have a stipend per month, whether you're at the board meeting or not.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Who's next on the line?
Township board.
Township board, yeah.
Sheet.
Well, the 300, oh, we didn't put in for anything. I'm good with. I'm not asking for a raise. I don't know if anybody else is. None of us submitted, we're fine. We'll stay the same of our 300. Is that 300, is that correct, Joyce?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we'll just stay at the 300 per meeting. Okay. Right.
Planning commission over the first, right?
Yeah, how did we?
Shannon, I think we might have jumped again. We're
Oh.
back on page 3.
Yep.
She
We
was
went
looking at
from
a
the
different
planning
sheet.
commission.
Yeah,
To the
Yeah.
board, isn't it?
I was just
bypass.
finishing,
The
I was
sheet
just
is
finishing
looking
the
at
last
this
sheet.
Oh, fair enough.
Sorry, I
Fair enough.
should have been informative, I thought. All right, back to the original, okay. We're back to, which number are we now? So we're still at the clerk. Yeah. Okay, so we've got past planning commission, so now we're at Joyce, 101, 215, 702. She is budgeted for 60,306, her requested is 63,206, so that's a 3,000 increase you're asking, correct, Joyce?
Yes.
And then 29? 29, okay, and that, we still have to add, so this 92 down here, we have to add in the marijuana and elections.
Correct.
So those both went up as well, it looks like.
They did not,
They did not?
no,
Let me see, I got you.
they stayed the same.
Okay, so we don't have anything wrote over here on the 26th. So you're saying the 5253 and the 5500 stayed the same?
Correct.
So you're asking for that 3,000, but that 71 would go up 3,000 to make it the 74, but that doesn't include any of your benefits.
Correct.
Correct, okay, so. Yeah, thinking we need to try to see if we can get a total complete package. Because, so that's one other question, and I guess maybe Cody's here too. So you're getting paid for marijuana, 5253. Correct? So our marijuana is going down. So does that affect, you know what I mean? Our marijuana is going down. We're not taking in as much on license, we're not taking in as much. Obviously,
That's
our
true. Mhm.
funds are going down. So is that something, I mean, the same on Cody's, I'm sure we can work that out, but if the marijuana is going down and we're not getting that
We still have,
intake.
It's not in the red yet, so we take in maybe about 200,000,
Mhm.
everything operating. And between half my salary and her 52, 53, we're not even, I mean, it's three licenses,
Mhm.
4 licenses worth.
Yeah.
Or, I
Yeah,
guess 8 doubles.
okay. And I'm just asking because
Yeah.
I don't want us to get behind on that. If it's gonna keep going down every year, we can't keep those huge, you know what I mean?
I think I can clarify
Sure.
something on the marijuana. So there are two, we have to talk about the revenue first.
Mhm.
And so there are two pieces of money that you're getting. One is what I would call the sales tax percentage. And that is what is distributed from the state to all jurisdictions based upon the total amount of marijuana revenue that they receive.
Okay.
That money is unrestricted. It just goes to your general fund. You can spend it whenever you want.
Mhm.
Right? The one that you have to be cautious of though is your licensing fee.
Mhm.
And that, how much is that a license a year?
5,000.
5,000.
Hopefully, for the 2 dispensaries that have closed, we get 600, 200,000.
So the licensing fee, because it's a fee, this kind of goes back to your conversation earlier about fees for planning commission. We have to be very cognizant of what the word fee means.
Mhm.
And fee means that we can charge something to reimburse us for the cost of providing the service. And so the township has created the separate department so that it can track the costs
Mhm.
to show that the fee that they're charging is justified.
Mhm.
So really, it's not a question of whether these numbers go down. These numbers can stay the same,
Okay.
because if that's what the time is taking,
Mhm.
it's making sure that those numbers are enough to cover the revenue that's coming in. So in
Okay.
our case, $200,000.
And so we're good.
We want to make sure that we're showing about $200,000 of expenses.
Mhm.
Now, if we can't do that, then you shouldn't be charging $5,000.
Right.
You should be charging, because you don't have, 5,000 is the maximum you can charge under state statute. You can charge 4,000, you can charge 1,000, doesn't matter. So, yeah, so what, the only thing I would say is, looking at here, is that there are probably some other expenses that might need to be attributed, like for law enforcement, or some other types of things, so that we make sure that we're getting to that $200,000 in revenue.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does. Thank you. Oh, and I only asked it for the reason of I know we'll have to be cognitive to watch that. And
Yeah,
that's what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
Not-
So, yeah, okay. All right.
So last year you got like 11%, wasn't it, raise?
Yes, because I didn't get anything for marijuana the year before.
11%.
Or when they changed, you have to remember also they changed the voting. And now we have 9 days of early voting, which means 2 weekends. And then additional days.
Yeah, 23 to 24 for marijuana, and then 24 to 25 for elections.
And that was a big change. That's a lot of, extra work for the marijuana, or excuse me, for the voting.
All right, marijuana salaries, the 28.9, I'm good. Everybody good on clerk? Yeah. Marijuana salaries. 101-247-702, 28.950, Cody, that's you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, half of mine.
Yep,
Yep.
I'm good with that. Yep,
Yep.
if anybody else is.
Oh, that's good.
So the Manulife retirement, the 33.84. So does half of that come out of marijuana for your retirement, and then the other half come out of
Yes.
the
Yep.
zone? Okay.
Yep, half of all my stuff is split. between
50-50.
Yep.
Okay.
Marijuana and building
Okay,
department.
makes sense. Thank you.
The other thing I
They
think
must
with
be back
marijuana-
there in the bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lights are on anyways.
The
Not
other thing
her
I
voice.
keep in mind with you're assigning your expenses to this marijuana department, is you have to make sure that you can justify the charge, right?
Mhm.
So previously, for example, they had $5,000 in audit costs. I don't think there's anything wrong with charging a portion of audit costs. But you can't be arbitrary, because if you're being arbitrary, then our fee is not being set correctly. So you'd have to come up with some type of methodology to explain it. So for example, with Cody, if you're splitting a salary 50-50, then that's fine, but then he needs to be able to find, you have to justify that 50% of his time is being spent on marijuana, which it
Yeah.
probably is.
Which you go to the facility, you go
Yeah.
out on properties.
Yeah.
Okay,
But just keep that
Yeah.
in mind when you're doing these things.
thank you.
Because back to your comment about lawsuits, those are areas where we get lawsuits at.
The only thing I do realize that's missing, because I know in the past I've submitted mileage just for marijuana. And
Okay.
there's no mileage bill into marijuana here. And we had me split it up that one time to specifically target
Mhm.
marijuana mileage and marijuana.
So the mileage is missing completely?
Yeah, there's no line for or mileage under marijuana.
Do you know, Joyce, is there a line item in the computer for that?
I'm not sure, but we can add a line item
Yeah.
for it.
But I mean, what about last year? Where did it go last year for its mileage?
So it might not be showing if there was nothing, used from it. Maybe, I'm not sure. I do not know.
Yeah, historically, there was nothing, I don't see any charge
You don't see any,
Last year, no mileage?
the last 3 years.
okay.
Unless I'm missing it, but I don't think.
You haven't had mileage, Cody?
I know I've turned one in for marijuana,
Oh, just, okay, nothing, okay.
but it was sometime point last year in the spring, I think is when I did the bulk of the, usually I try to set aside a day, knock out everything. Aside from the, like attestation inspections and stuff like that I have to do before reissuing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I think it does probably just get lumped in with my normal mileage,
So the marijuana goes into your zoning, you're thinking mileage?
potentially, probably, yeah. Or
Which we would have to watch that, I would assume, but. Okay. I'm good there if everybody else is.
Are we going down to light and code?
Building department, oh, yep, let's go down to, light, yep.
Is there anything under building department on that we?
I guess we could look at that really quick. So building department fund, that got kind of stuck in here a little bit, but. Salaries 28,950.
Who is that?
on salaries,
Cody.
building officials, Mark hires.
Okay.
And Mark Hires has not had a raise in over how many years, Cody?
Oh, that was the inspection fees,
Oh,
Yeah.
which we did raise earlier this year.
okay.
He's having, I mean,
So he went from 27,579 and asking 28,950.
That's Cody.
Yeah,
That's Cody, the building
Yeah.
department, that's what I just asked, and I
Yep.
thought, okay.
Building official is Mark hires.
5,300. On to 7,000.
Oh, I see, I got you, yeah, it's out there, okay.
And that whole office basically exists underneath his
Mm-hmm.
license.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Is that fair then, or is that?
Is he good with that?
I haven't heard him complain about that.
Okay.
We raised the other fee, right?
Yep.
Okay.
20%.
And you said that was Mark?
Yep.
Well, because here we have him for 1,700. On this sheet, Mark hires building official, 5,300 salary. And then the 2026 salary is for 7,000, that's 1,700.
Yeah,
2025 was 5463.
Mm-hmm.
he's getting 53 and I suggested to pay him 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a difference of 1,700.
So in order to have a building department issue,
We're running off
the
his
permits,
license.
we're running off of his license.
Right, yeah, I'm not questioning that, I'm just asking about this, it's showing 7,000 here. On this one, so the flat 7.
Yeah, flat 7.
One thing that you should look at too is technically that probably should be its own fund, because the building department operates as an enterprise fund where the revenue generator is supposed to cover the costs. And it technically should be, if the fees cover the cost of the operations, it should be a separate.
Did you hear that one, Joyce?
If
Just
the
make
fees
sure.
cover the price of the operations, it should be its own.
It should be its own fund, yeah. And that's something that we can talk about with Heather and
Okay,
adjust next year.
okay. So you're, just so I'm right, building department, you want to move into its own fund?
I would recommend going sometime next year that would be its own
Okay.
fund.
I just want to make note of it.
The other thing you have to be careful here, this is the same thing with marijuana. I mean, if I look back at 22 as an example, you brought in $85,000 in revenue, but your expenses were 35,000. The next year you brought in 67, your expenses were 39. Next year, 80,000, expenses is 47. And you do need to be careful on these funds, right? Because the cost of the fees are supposed to cover the cost of the right service. Now, over time, you're gonna have ups and downs. So you have to recognize that and down here, but you just need to be cognizant of that.
So it's an in and out,
Pardon me?
it's an in and out.
Yeah. It
Okay, should be offset by
It should be close.
close, okay.
Yeah. And then that's something that, for example, City of Troy, there's a lawsuit that's been going on for a long time related to something very similar to this. So.
Okay,
So that'll be, yeah,
something to,
we'll make sure we watch that, thank you.
Yeah.
Manual retirement, the 3,510, Cody, that's your other 50?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm good, is everybody good on that one? Yeah.
so, I did have, there's a meeting fee for Cody
Yeah,
that's on the salary. Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so what does that,
$100 per meeting.
So there's no projection here of meetings, how many? So we're taking the 27,579 to 28,950 times two, right?
What we're doing is compensating for the meetings away from the planning commission that we haven't come here in the other meetings that he attends.
Right on the boards.
When he attends the board meetings and the planning commission meetings. I thought he was getting, you're not getting paid for it.
No, so when I first got hired in, I was told I needed to be at a quarterly meeting just to give an update. And then we started the streaming and now the audio, and I'm the one that knows how to do it. And then I added the videos to get them online.
So that'll take you to 57,900 before any meetings. How many, that's my question. How many meetings do you think you're projecting in that $100 fee?
It'd be 12
To be
a
a-
year, it'd be,
Board meetings and ten.
and then special,
Everybody's
then they
got
have
those
a
too.
special
Yeah, we
meeting
can do
as
special
well.
meetings
Yep.
too.
And a specials.
They make for some long days, like.
So I'd probably say
15 hours
3,000.
Or 13 hours already.
30 meetings, that would be. expensive.
No, not inside 30 minutes.
Right. Well, Christie was saying 3,000 extra.
Well,
So
we've
that would
already,
be
we've had
30
what,
meetings.
2 this month, or, well, one
So
more.
at 12 board meetings and 10, I mean, that'd be
That's
22.
22.
Yeah,
I would
It's
budget for
close.
25.
yeah, 'cause
probably.
there's always special.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
extra. Mhm.
That makes sense.
So that would take yours to 60,400 with before benefits. All right, who's next?
Another approach you could consider is just build into the salary. If it's part of his job, don't pay him for the meeting, because then, you know, if you get more or less meetings and one meeting's extremely long, just take that amount and build it into the salary and build that going forward. Put it as part of his job description and. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but it seems that that would be a more fair way to do it.
And can we split that? We can't split that half and half with marijuana and regular, can we? It would not be anything to do with marijuana money.
Planning commission.
Yeah,
We could do that for marijuana money?
so one of the things, briefly, one of the things in the new zoning ordinance is, so we deal with marijuana at least once, if not twice a year.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's the same thing 2 or 3 times, so, and there's also, if we ever get there, an annual review that we're going to do. So you could definitely attribute some of that, you know,
Yeah.
you could also do the same thing with the planning commissions, you know, meeting fees and everything else, but I mean, to the accountant's point, that is certainly a conversation for, you know, later on, but I would agree that if you could, if you had to roll it into a salary and separate it,
Mhm.
I would think that the easiest thing to do would be the board meetings would be on his building department salary, and then planning commission on
Marijuana.
on the marijuana one.
Sorry. So that does make sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
So is everyone thinking the same thing?
So
Add
right
to the
now,
salaries?
57,900, and then if we did 25 meetings, that'd be 2,500 more, but if we can do some to marijuana, then that's gonna save some out of the general fund, so
So
I
10
guess-
to marijuana? And
I don't know,
12
10 to marijuana is high, isn't it?
I mean, it all depends on how you look at it.
Yeah,
I mean, so the justifications, we have always kind of been best practice, you know, if you have anything marijuana related.
Yeah.
That can be charged to the marijuana fund.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have to, you know, specifically, I mean. In the meetings, like we talk about provision in the zoning ordinance or whatever else. Theoretically, that could be charged to marijuana.
Yeah.
We got the attorney there, you know, same thing for coding, same thing for the thing. But I mean, it's not there. So I mean, if you didn't want to say 10, maybe you could say 4. You know, and then the rest.
And keep track of it.
Or whatever, however you
Yeah.
want to say that. I mean,
so what if we
I'm
did
just
5
asking
marijuana?
okay, I was just asking for a payroll.
Yeah, and then Cody, you could keep track of it. If there's more than 5, you could keep track and let Joyce know, and then we could do that split. Is that,
So it's 500 for the marijuana then?
and then it would be 20 under under his other.
Building and zoning.
Mhm.
Is anybody else cold?
Freeze.
The heat just came on.
Freezing it.
Freeze.
Okay. Rare, usually it's not cold.
We're gonna park it.
All right, where are we at?
Light.
Light.
Almost.
All right, blight and code,
Which one?
light,
8.1. That's what I.
Light is not on this,
No, it's not on.
Oh, it's not on that sheet.
I thought I'd seen it, no?
No, he's not on this, but he is here. By what he's asking for, it's 8.1%.
8.1%?
Yeah.
No.
We see that.
It's,
Well, if I'm doing my math right, he's going from 26,780 to 28,955.
The difference is
So
21.75.
21.75, you divide that,
$2 an hour, basically.
There was a sheet that we
Right.
had $2.
No, wait a minute. What's more than that?
Yeah, on Randy's scribble sheet that Randy provided,
Yeah.
you had him on here. Joe Morfersberger blight, 25,000 was the salary in 25. Now you cross that out and put 27 in. So it does equal to the $2 an hour.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was looking for.
Say
that
what,
sheet.
8.1%.
See that?
What?
I need.
No,
That's what I've been looking all over this.
you had it in my
and
bag.
Something and I let you see it and you kept it.
No, I didn't keep it.
That paper you found on the floor today?
Yeah.
You had it actually in my staff. So that $2,
$2 an hour, 8.1%.
so I guess my question on blight, he's not here. Who can explain to me how many hours does he work? I mean, he's part-time?
Part-time.
Part-time,
And it varies. It depends on what comes up.
On
You
the
know,
cases.
sometimes he's gotta go to court. Sometimes we have more complaints than others. You can't really,
Mhm.
but he is part-time, so,
he is here more in the summertime.
yeah.
There is a lot more going on in the summer.
And during the winter, you usually cut it down to about 10 hours per week.
Yeah, if that.
He hasn't gotten 10 this week, though.
So we also pay him sometimes for, help me Joyce, it's not on here this time. Sometimes we pay him for mileage and cleanup. What does that entail?
so, mileage is him out driving around.
Yeah,
Okay.
that, the
So
cleanup.
cleanup if there's a house to be cleaned up, if there's a condemned house or a yard has to be cleaned up.
Mhm.
It's probably paying a contractor though to come in, I assume, right?
Are we putting him
blight.
under a contractor or are we paying him under our hourly fee?
This isn't him, this is the department, blight and code of compliance. So if we have to have a house torn down or
Mhm.
have a house mowed,
Okay,
then we hire someone to mow it.
okay,
It doesn't mean it's him. It
okay.
means we hire someone to mow it.
And that's contracting.
Contract.
Usually
Right.
that is contract. Okay.
We've
okay.
had two
But that
two
it's,
this summer where somebody had trash out on, it was at Coolidge Street. We had to get somebody to get it and charge it back to them.
Mhm. Who do we usually use there? Is there different people?
yeah, I don't-
Yeah,
if we can get our team to do it, we do. So like Mike and Thor.
But they're not contractors.
No, but, right, so it wouldn't count on here, but if we can get someone to clean it up, if we can get them to clean it up at no cost,
Mhm.
then we try that first.
But there are some places that are property where we use Mike and Thor.
Mhm.
See, like, Coolidge Street is a good example. Quarter of Coolidge Street, part of it is Bedford, the other part's, Penfield, and the other part is Battle Creek. There's a strip in there, and a road in there where people like to dump.
Mhm.
I wouldn't hire a vendor for that, you know.
Mhm.
I would send our guys out there. It's on our property.
Mhm.
So you don't know when that might happen or where we're going. On Coolidge Street, as a matter of fact, it's kind of rural. People dump there all the time. Might be too much for them, so then we have to consider that. So it just depends on what comes up.
But in this respect, this really is just about hiring someone,
Mhm.
not Mike and Thor.
Yeah.
Okay. And like dumpster fees.
And who plows here? Just curious.
Thor and Mike.
Thor and
Mike,
Mike.
okay. perfect.
And the fire department has a
Yeah, fire
plow on there.
I thought I
also.
see, okay, thank you. All right. And
If we're going down on the mechanical inspector,
So that's all pass through.
okay,
But
That's what I was
from
hoping.
permits and expected and that's what we actually got.
fair enough.
So are the rates changing?
The fees did go up this year,
The
yes.
fees did,
Yeah.
where are you at?
mechanical building.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
I can tell you from personal experience, they were all very pleasant.
Say that again?
Said I can tell you from personal experience, they were all very pleasant.
Good. Yeah, they, and all the rates went up. It was voted on in, was it December of last year or January of last year?
I think it was just before,
Thank you
Rates
for
went
that.
up. We did a basically 50% raise,
because they hadn't been done in years.
2012 was the
Yeah,
last.
yeah.
And then we started looking at it more and we found out that, you cannot basically eclipse what the state recommends. And some of 50% flat raises did. So we did all the inspections and the admin fees were a 50% raise. And then the per item fees, we matched up pretty much with the state. And then we were also now matched up with Penfield and Emmett again as well, so.
Good, good. Yeah, and it's good, they're kind of set fees, so that's good. Okay, are we on page 4? We done with that one?
Electrical inspector,
Oh,
building.
that kind of him that does that?
Yeah, I think that kind of all is covered under the.
Okay.
I'm just curious about the rates.
Electrical inspector? You say,
No, all these guys.
you do, I do, I have kind of have this.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Electrical inspector. That went down. 3,500,
Again, I think like Cody was saying, that's just based on need and that's pretty much a
Projection.
pass through. We charge fees for that.
They get paid a percentage of the fees, is that how they get paid?
We keep the admin fee.
Yeah, but they get a percentage. Yeah. So whatever if you get one permit, they're gonna get their percentage. You get two, so it doesn't
really make this number.
matter.
Yeah.
Right, because it's just, what is demand next year? And
Okay.
then the fees, then your revenue will offset the fees,
Yeah,
so.
all right, plumbing inspector,
That's the same thing.
Same thing.
on the same one, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, all right, next is treasurer.
On this one, that wasn't my number. I had asked for 6%, which would have took it to just 3809 from the 63,482. What says 44?
63,484, it would have took it to what number?
It would have added, hold on,
It's 63,293, is that 6%?
She's at 63,484 now.
9293 is what he's asking for then?
6% on top of 63.
which would equal 3,809.
So you're saying your total salary would be 67,293? Or what did you write down for your, I mean, you said you asked.
Well, for 25, 63, 40, 297, and you're changing that number here on what we have. We have 67, 291, 94.
Well, on this thing, it says 67,000, right?
Yeah, it's just plain.
Yeah,
Right.
and I was asking for 6%, which would have took it to 67,293 is what.
So take that out, 67, 293.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that's what it is. Is that what it?
67,293.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, so a couple of questions. Your deputy treasurer, 49 and up to 51.
I don't know. I had asked for 3 for her, 3%. So let me do the math because I don't.
So that'd be 1467.90 more.
50,398,
Thank you.
Yeah.
50,000 what?
398. That's 3%.
50,000. And that was even number?
It's 397 and 97.
Okay,
around
got it.
there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we literally can do that.
50,388. All right. So, a couple questions I have on the deputy treasurer. Is she paid hourly?
Yes,
Okay,
sorry, I had to think about it for a second.
okay,
Because Tanya was not paid hourly,
Oh.
she was at a salary, so.
so the deputy treasurer is not salary,
No.
okay? The insurance, you have 25, you had 8,000, this time it's 11, is that yours and her stipend together?
Insurance or stipend?
It says insurance, it would be your stipend, insurance would be the 400 each you get a month.
Correct.
So that'd be,
Yeah.
that's both of you, the 11,000?
Sorry, I didn't look at her
Okay.
because I wasn't sure.
Well, it doesn't come out to that. It'd be 800 times 12, correct? Should be 9,600.
That's what I get.
You get what?
9,600.
400 each.
400 a month, yeah, it'd be 4,800, it'd be 96, not 11. Is that correct, Rod? You're good at your numbers.
That is,
That's correct.
that's right.
So the 11,000, that'd be a 1,400 difference there. And then moving on to retirement. So that 7,263, is that yours?
Is that both of us, Joyce?
It
It's
can't
both,
be
but
both.
she didn't qualify till just recently.
Okay.
She had to be here 6 months.
So that's both of them together. Okay.
So that number's gonna change.
That number will change, as will the social security. Like
I mean, you're
depends,
looking at 67.
depends on what the salary is to be able to finish the
Right,
other
but what,
items.
going by what you're basing it on.
So a couple other questions. With your taxes, they just went out, right?
They did.
They
Yeah.
did. So do you do them here? Are they contracted out, your taxes?
They're not
What's the
contracted,
process?
I do them here.
You stuff
And-
envelopes and everything here?
No. That goes to a printing company, in Kalamazoo.
13,000.
We stuffed them in Ross and I knew they were gonna get rid of
That's 7,000.
Yeah, there's over,
Have they been doing that for
7,000,
years?
There's gonna be almost
Where?
13,000.
Sending it out?
Oh,
for
yeah. they
Yeah,
got it.
Stuffing,
yeah.
really?
I mean, that's,
It-
you're
it-
holding
right.
12,000 sheets of paper and
Mhm.
stuffing 9,000 envelopes.
The only advantage you have is if you've got somebody with like 5 parcels and you run them right, you can combine those 5 parcels into one envelope.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the only advantage. Otherwise, you've got 3 or 4 people in the office stuffing envelopes for days. No, it's not worth it.
And the amount of ink.
Oh,
Especially when they have folders and
Oh, yeah.
vendors and, yeah,
You gotta have a
it's
holder.
done by a
Yeah.
machine.
It's horrible.
Go from 3,100 to 1,500.
Okay, moving on.
Your, retirement goes to $12,946.
The retirement goes to, what is that amount?
12,946,
It's
11% of those 2 salaries,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's gonna bump it up another 5,700. So right now, the 167, we'd have to add in that 5,700 for that. That would make it like 175, and that's you and your treasurer, everything included in there. The 175.
I didn't add it up.
I didn't either.
Well, yeah, it's 167, and then there's a 5,000 difference, so 172, 173. So if you say 173,000,
And retirement.
Well, the retirement's gonna go up to about 11,000. Isn't that what I said?
946, that's what I put on there, and then social security is gonna go up.
That mileage is 1,500 a year.
Right, from 300.
The mileage went up because the previous treasurer never took any training. She would go to the bank maybe once every 3 weeks.
I think our bank is different too. Our
Yeah.
bank is by the mall,
There's only, and that's a 3 mile difference, but
from down here by the plaza.
no, sorry. Wrong. I was thinking Penfield.
And just come to us and us.
All right.
I don't see postage on your.
It says,
Yeah, it says
it says
postage, but there's
2,600, but I have 0 for postage.
You don't have anything requested
Um,
for postage. And you send tax bills out twice a year.
so would that postage be underneath my printing and publication?
That company pays for it.
Yeah, cause
Yeah.
that company charges us for it and it's underneath,
Okay.
that is underneath that.
Got it.
So I really don't,
Okay. I would decide.
thank you.
See you, Tim.
Goodness. All right. Only a few left, it looks like. Building and grounds.
So that's Thor,
Mm-hmm.
Part of Florida, right?
right, part of Thor's.
He gets paid 2 places,
Yeah,
Cemetery, building, grounds.
3 and parks.
oh, 3, yeah, 3 places. So I put in for him for $48,000 even. And, part of that based that on what he does. He's a light equipment operator. So if you look in, not in just Michigan, across the country, what them guys are paying, he's way underpaid.
That's 47,000.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It would be total. That's not the correct, yeah, that's. So Thor for 19,340. This is.
That's his current salary.
Yeah, 19,340. And then building and ground, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead. I'm talking about
19,340. And then adding 5,000 for parks would equal 43,680.
That's what he gets.
Okay,
If you also look, on that salary sheet back, in between 2023 and 2024, something happened where you got hit with a pretty massive pay cut.
mhm.
$6,000 a year, pretty much.
Thornton,
23, 24.
why did that happen?
I'm not sure.
I
think
see it.
Something,
And he agrees to that?
that was
Wow.
before my
He
time.
might have didn't get a choice.
No, we weren't. Others were raises, that's interesting.
And it went down again between 24 and 25, but that's what, because she added the.
I'm looking at it right now.
Right, right, the park.
So that's the 4,320.
Well, I
year.
would just go back, when he took, Kevin's place, Kevin was represented,
Mhm.
but Thor's not. So they could do what they wanted to do,
Mhm.
at a salary.
It's hard work. I know.
There's your park.
basically 11%. What you're asking for him to get.
Exactly. And he's still being underpaid.
And I am sure that he could tell you guys why that was cut like that, if anyone was to ask him. He
Do
would
you know
tell you.
why? Or,
I've heard,
Okay,
but that's up to
okay.
him.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I'd like to know, because that's a major cut. I'm surprised anybody. would
Well,
agree to
that's 2
$6,000
years ago, right?
Doesn't
for
matter now.
last year.
Right.
I don't
No.
know why we wanna go back, pick a scab.
I'm not picking a scab, I'm just saying, I'm just interested in why he got to take a 6,000 cut.
Suppose you find out when it doesn't smell very. What we gonna do?
Okay. So,
Yeah, Mark.
here's the next one.
That's done.
Is it Mike?
Mike does it too. Mike is making $22 right now. I propose to give him a dollar raise, and he's a part-time person.
Okay.
And he works with Thor,
Yeah.
does basically the same thing as Thor. So, you know, he didn't squawk about it, nothing like that, but I did,
Mike is a hard worker.
could pay more, but
I think so. I think
We're both hard
he should be
workers.
paid more.
Well, I think Thor does a very good job
well,
at the cemetery as well there.
would anybody have a problem giving, Mike $25? He's making $22 an
I
hour,
was just
part-time. No,
I don't have the sheet in front of me.
No, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you receive things like that when I talk, but
Don't think that I.
he's
received anything
making
particular on that.
$22. And
I
I'm
would,
said,
I would have thought you would have asked for 24.
That's where I was thinking.
I would have thought you would ask for 24.
well, 24, is 24 okay?
Yeah.
Let's put 24.
Put 24 in.
And then we'll go at the end of the evening.
These guys work hard. I know they work. And sometimes they have undesirable things to do, like pick up dead deer and rubbish on the side of the road. And all kinds of crap.
We're at almost 200 tires off the side of the
Yeah.
road this year.
Yep.
What'd you just say?
We're at almost 200 tires. They've climbed down the ditches to pick up off the side of the road this year.
That's terrible. All right.
Then it's back to fire. Parks and Rec. But we're underneath the cemetery building and grounds.
So, okay, we agree with that. Okay, we're going to the other one.
Is that it for,
I think, oh,
Yeah.
For salaries.
so now we can go over all of them and decide what we're doing.
We can get on the same page and, agree with this, but we won't vote on it. Not tonight.
I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
he said we can get on the same page with this, but we won't vote on it tonight.
We can't vote on it in the workshop,
Okay, yeah, and it would be voted on the next meeting?
right?
Okay.
Just a comment in general, not just on salaries, but in general. As Fort Joyce and Fort Christie know, I am paranoid about the fund balance, AKA the rainy day fund. And I just want us to get, well, as our accountant will say, get us up to 100%. As gradually, but as thoroughly as we can, without spending too much, spending too much money. And I'm looking at our potential surplus. So I think we have enough, still maintain our surplus. And we have some positives that could happen this year. But that's just one of my big sticking issues, is I just want to make sure we continue to improve our rating, fund balance. I always use the wrong word. I call it rainy day fund. Fund balance, that we don't spend it on things that we are not emergencies. We must continue to build this.
Well, we just built $6,000 tonight.
Yeah, we just put through 6 in. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
All right then. Ready. And by the way, I don't have no problem with that, but,
Well, I think we're on a good constructive path. And I just want it to continue. But we got some major funding issues coming up that will make people want to attack the fund balance, and I just not in favor of that. I just not ready for that.
I'll kind of say what I think, and then I guess everybody can have their turn. I think some of these are really high. And our township is, we're at 10% poverty level, I believe, just under 10%. Some of this is high to our taxpayers. I think it's a burden to our taxpayers to add this much in a year, my opinion. My thoughts is to possibly do a compensation committee, because we just got these numbers a few days ago. We got this sheet, we hadn't seen them. So to really look at full packages, because these are not full package details, which would include the stipend, the insurance, the retirement, all that stuff. So that's my thought. We sit on it, we get a committee together, the committee goes over everybody's individual. I think the planning commission and stuff is different because that's a set fee there. We don't do the taxes and all that stuff. That's my personal opinion, is we get a committee together, review it in 3 months, go over this, have some time. This is a lot of numbers to push through that we have really not had time to look at.
We have had, well, let's go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, finish.
That's my thought. The compensation committee is just basically a open workshop. You don't make decisions there. You bring it back to the board, and that'll give us time to talk to all of the elected too, or the hire to see, or if they want to, or we can look at these numbers and see, is it feasible for our township to have these bigger raises? I personally think 6% is a big raise. It's big. And I'm not saying it's not deserved. I think it's a big raise.
Yeah, well, there's a lot that goes on in this township and a lot of stuff that you don't see behind closed doors that we have to handle and that we have to take care of. I'd like to address the fact that it was a slap in my face to hire somebody after I had been here for a year already, invested and have given my time to put them at the same pay rate as me. You don't see the hours that we work, come in on Friday, come in on the weekends. I think it was acceptable to ask what I asked for. And I think to just add another committee to put somebody else in there, would we be spending money on that committee, or?
What we would spend on that committee is less than what all of these.
So everybody, you're gonna get what you pay for. And if you don't want to give the people raises or pay them what they're worth, then you're gonna end up with the same situations every year.
Well, and just to differ from that, you're still getting paid a very good salary, in my opinion. I think we're feasible we're close. Gene has got
We're
some
close, yeah,
information.
I've looked at the
Not a
competitive,
big difference.
we're close.
Well, it all
We're
depends
close.
on who you use for a reference, because
Yeah.
I checked on it and the treasurers are usually somewhere between 70,000 and 250,000.
That's not coming up through the
Well,
MTA.
I'll look at that for you.
Go right across
I got-
to the
I got
Bedford, see what they're
resources.
making.
Well,
I mean-
but understand that,
Mhm.
but let me say this part. Treasurers in whole in Michigan, I'll get you the information from where my research is done, and I'm not advocating for it, because I'm not advocating for myself. But as a whole, they're somewhere between $70,000 and $250,000, depending on a whole bunch of variables. But I hear what you're saying, but it's not, if you take a comparison what you guys want to do, you'll see that she's not far off. Well, I just leave it like that, because I'm not a lawyer or nothing like that.
No, I'm just looking at,
You know,
Penfield. I've looked at Ross, I've looked at the MTA data, which was mostly clerks, not treasurers. And, I'm just looking at numbers.
but treasurers are paid more than clerks and supervisors.
Okay.
Treasurers?
Yes.
No, I can't
Oh.
imagine a treasurer takes more than a clerk.
You'll find out. I'll look for it. I
The
mean,
clerks are usually paid the most.
Yeah, because the clerks,
And
I think, have a heavier load.
And our neighbor in Penfield, just to make sure, this is from their supervisor who provided this with me, to me. This was they're on a different fiscal year.
mhm.
So, for example,
April
the
to,
clerk was set at 63,562 in Penfield.
Okay.
And the treasurer was set at the same pay, 63,562.
So
So- What I'm saying is Penfield is actually a little bit bigger township and a little higher tax base. So I'm just saying, we're close. We're close.
Who
What
would
was
be,
the
With
supervisor?
no marijuana revenue.
50,000,
50,000
yeah,
50,000 for what?
for supervisor.
for the
So
supervisor.
he works part-time, Penfield?
Yeah, he's part-time.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay,
part-time,
Okay,
These are all full-time, but he's part-time.
correct.
okay.
Penfield's about 1,000 people less population.
Yeah.
Well, and also, yeah, Penfield does their billing, their utilities. They do water and sewer. We
Mhm.
don't do that.
Correct.
They do that there.
But what I'm just saying is,
Mm.
we're in the ballpark. You know, we're in the ballpark. I'm not saying we're too high or too low. I'm just saying we're in the ballpark.
who would this committee be? Why would you, who would be on it? Who
Well, a
would
lot
be-
of people have these kind of committees, I guess, and we would vote who we
Well,
are,
who?
whether it's trustees, because it's
No.
not benefiting us. I'm sorry.
I said, no, you can't have the trustees.
Let me
Just doing a
address my
committee.
comment. I'll give it back to you, okay? I wanna know if you pick a committee of what people and who. You are the we are the board.
Mhm.
We don't need a committee. We're the board. There's nowhere that says that we got to go to some committee. Either you approve it or you don't. We are the committee. We are the board.
You're absolutely correct. And if that's the way that the board wants to go, then we can take that information and move forward and we can make a decision next month when we vote it.
Next week,
It'll be
Or next
Tuesday.
week, I'm sorry.
Tuesday.
You're
Yeah.
right. So if a committee is unacceptable to the elected members, then I say, fine, we can take it the other direction. You know, I don't know, how does this work? I don't see it being a straight up and down approval. So how does the negotiation work, during the board meeting? Cause honestly, I don't disagree at all with the, hourly employees up at the cemetery and in grounds, especially if they've been neglected on previous pay years and we need to bring them up to a commensurate wage.
Right.
But honestly, with our elected officials, if I would make a recommendation that we bring that in at the cost of living. That would be my recommendation if you don't want to go with an exploratory committee.
Well, I look at it like I would rather do within the board. If you're suggesting COLA,
I'm sorry?
you're suggesting COLA.
Yeah, possibly. What is it, 2.8?
2.8 is what I Googled tonight from the SSI.
Do you have any information right on these, on like a planning, any insight on this, like like a committee?
I don't know if I do. I know that you guys are a charter township, right?
Yes, sir.
So under the Charter Township Act, there is a provision for a salary compensation committee. And so that's a committee made of citizens. I don't know exactly how it works, but I believe it's kind of a recommending body to the board. And then in the statute, the board then defines what they're gonna do with that. So maybe they can just accept it or they can vote it down and then there's some other procedure. So that would be then like everything in life, there's pros and cons to every approach, right? And so there's no one right solution for anything that we talk about in local government. But one of the pros would be a systematic process that could be utilized for that consideration brought forward. But again, there's cons to that approach as well, because are the citizens educated on what they're voting on or making recommendations for? So, yeah, but that is one way for a charter township to consider. And again, that would only be for, I believe the salary compensation committee would only be for the elected officials. The non-elected officials would still be up to the board to make the determination on that.
So I feel like we've all been elected to serve our communities. And if we can't decide on salaries for 7 people, I think cost of living is fine. If we want to build, we have some big expenses coming, I get that.
Mhm.
Would I like a pay raise? Absolutely. But would I be happy with cost of living? Absolutely. There's a fire station to build, there's work to be done in the cemetery, there's a fire trucks to be purchased. I mean, there's a lot of expenses coming up, so I understand.
Mhm.
I don't think that's unfair. I would, however, and I know this one seems out there, but for Thor at the cemetery, I feel like
He deserves
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
He's a very
That's-
hard
Yeah,
worker.
that,
Yeah.
right, so, and I'm not really for a compensation committee
Mhm.
or I'm not for that. I think that we're all adults, we can make decisions, we can make good choices. And sometimes you get what you want and sometimes you don't.
Mhm.
And it's just part of life. Would I like everyone to get everything they want? Absolutely.
Mhm.
But I think we have to spend wisely and we have to make those choices. That's how we ended up oftentimes just being a COLA,
Mhm.
unless there was something big that happened, to facilitate.
Well, I didn't ask for 6%. So that's why I don't want to sound like I'm advocating for you or her, but I just know that negotiation goes, a person asks for something and somebody says, no, I'll give you this, and you meet somewhere, because this is what it is, a negotiation.
Mhm.
So therefore, I would rather the board just vote next week and say, yes or no. That's what we are, the board.
We can't, it's too open-ended because there's a lot of math that has to happen between now and when the budget goes
Mhm.
out.
Well, and some of these numbers have to be changed. 'Cause
Correct.
we don't have the correct.
The
on
Social
now.
Security,
Nice new
there's
sheet.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
math that's gonna go.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a meat in the middle?
And if you, I'm gonna speak out of turn, but that would be my recommendation would be you do something, right? Get to something you can all agree to. I mean, and again, I think you have to break this conversation up between elected and non-elected.
Mhm.
And what I'm hearing is there seems to be support for the non-elected. So I think that's a moot point. So then the question is elected, and then you figure out what you can live with percentage increase, and then come back with more information and more data. I mean, this should be a data-driven decision.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So, and then that gives you time to come back. And then if you come back with data and the data shows that, yes, we need an adjustment, then you make an adjustment.
And that's before Tuesday or that's?
No,
Monday?
that
Okay.
would
We'd
be,
have to reschedule.
yeah, that would be sometime
Yeah.
again next year, right? I mean, you
Okay.
take time,
Mhm.
get the data, get the
Okay.
information.
Right, because we don't have to make the decision now,
No,
right?
no, but,
Yeah.
Well,
I would make a
we
decision.
do to some degree.
For the other one. Yeah.
budget we do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would make some
Yeah, oh, okay.
decision
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
of
I
some
misunderstood.
increase. Yeah,
Mhm.
right now. And then, if that's COLA, if that's 1%, if it's 3%, pick a
Mhm.
number, do something for the electeds.
Mhm.
And then agree to come back in 3 months and actually look at data, look at information, and then have a holistic conversation about pay for elected officials.
Mhm.
And as part of that conversation, you could talk about, okay, going forward, how are we gonna do this? So that we have a process in place. Again, it doesn't have to be a compensation committee, but maybe there should be some other process where you're going through so that you all are in agreement of how you're going to consider paying business for all positions, both
Mhm.
elected and not elected.
Mhm.
And then that way you don't, then you don't wait till the meeting in December and then you have these conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to start much earlier.
Yeah.
Well, and then the
Yeah,
other thing too, I don't know if
Sorry.
you're doing this, Randy or Joyce. If it would be nice if we could have like a breakdown of like clerk, all of her, everything together, you know what I mean? Your packages of your retirement, everything together in one column. You see what I'm saying? Instead of this one here.
But that's what this is.
It is, I know that, but I'm saying on one sheet itself.
So each department their own sheet.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a printing, I mean, it's how you print it.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be printed from there, but
I think we're all in agreement for the non-elected people. Everything's.
Except I think that the assessor should not be at 4%. I think that was meant to be 3%.
Is she at 4? I thought she was.
I thought you guys said 4, but you didn't.
Assessor, let me look.
But the assessor's a contract. Right? So the assessor, you have a contract with,
Assessor's a 4%.
She's an employee.
oh, she's an employee.
Mhm.
But she doesn't get benefits, does she?
No, she's part-time.
She's like employed by 4 different townships or 30.
Oh,
Was it 4 or did I make it up?
No, 4%. It's a $1,400 pickup from 3672. I've got 4%.
Pardon? I knew everyone.
Let me check my,
okay.
let me check my third grade math.
What was that one, Joyce, on the assessor?
It's Scott's checking now.
What he had, it was 4%.
4%.
Yeah.
How many hours does she work? She's just here one day a week, isn't she?
Correct.
Did you talk to her about that, Randy? Did she ask for the 4% or
Actually, she didn't.
she didn't?
No.
Okay,
Well, let's fix that.
yeah. You think 3% is fair?
I was looking for consistency, is what I was hearing.
No, yeah, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
You'd be fine.
agree.
Unless the, Chrissy, what was your percentage you asked for?
I asked for 6.
Well, maybe she shouldn't even be 3%, because if we do. If we agree to the COLA, it's like 2.6 or 2.8%. And we
Well-
don't want to give her more than someone else,
Well, I think we need to, she's not an elected official though, correct?
right?
No.
So, I think we need to, what are we gonna do with the deputies? Cause they're not elected officials. So if we have an elected official and an hour a year, hour a year,
3% of that.
Let me, hold on just a second. I was,
So what, your wage?
give me just a second.
Down the agenda, take it to a vote next week.
63, 40.
I guess that's it.
We could, I mean, we got,
Chrissy, what would make you happy? If it wasn't 6%, what would feel fair to you?
I guess I don't know. I mean, I would even say that 3.5, I guess, at this point.
Three percent would be 65388 is what you asked.
I'm not. We have to give everybody.
yeah, it's true.
You don't have to give everybody, she's negotiating for her.
Understood.
But
So we gotta be fair to everybody.
we have to be fair to everybody, but again, in all transparency, Joyce made the point that she's been
She's
here.
negotiating for her, I'm negotiating for me. You offer me 2.8, I'll take it. No, that eliminates one department you don't even have to bicker about.
Well, I don't think we're bickering, we're talking,
Well,
but
whatever,
Yeah.
that's my choice of words.
yeah.
So I'm saying,
Yeah.
for me, this department, 2.8 is fine.
Mhm.
That part, you don't have to negotiate anymore of this.
Mhm.
So you don't have to say because you gave her some, you gave.
But we gotta be fair.
Yeah.
And everything, so. I mean, if
So-
we're gonna give you 2.8, we're probably gonna do the rest of them 2.8.
Well, that, I can't negotiate for everybody else. I'm just saying, I'm fine with it in my department. That's a whole different department, though.
Mm.
And that's a different department.
Mm.
If we kept it like that, we wouldn't have this kind of things that we're doing. I'm not trying to get short, but I don't see it.
Consider what we're gonna do with deputies, so.
It can be different tiers. Like we have the deputies. Is that, I'll wait for Christie, that's rude.
I'm sorry.
I was
Yeah.
waiting for Christie here.
I forgot what all we.
But they were like 2,000 more.
They were dollar figures versus percentages.
I was gonna run a percentage or something.
The percentage would be less.
Well, what?
The percentage would be less than the dollar figure.
It's, they're not elected, they're hired, so. Correct. Was it well?
You look at civil service scales, you'll see a bottom and a minimum and a maximum.
Mhm.
And, I'm looking at taking that in my head as, looking at the minimum, I'm fine with it. So,
Just keep in mind on these deputies, everybody wants to compare to our neighboring townships. The deputy clerk and deputy treasurer, both in Penfield, make 21-22.
Right.
We're way over that.
Yeah, we're
We're like $5 or $6 more than that, $5 anyways,
They,
you know.
do you know what your hourly is, Christie?
No, I don't know.
You don't know? Joyce, do you know what your hourly is?
For mine, 26.75,
Thank you.
And
28.31 if it was the new.
So go to 28.31. And Christie, you don't know what yours is
I
hourly?
don't know.
No.
what it is already.
Do you know, Joyce?
Are you asking for me or my
I'm asking
deputy?
for Christie's deputy. Do you know what she makes an hour?
She makes,
It's not on here.
she's salary though. Or no, she's hourly.
They're both hourly, right?
Yes, no, I don't.
what deputy is that?
For Christie's deputy.
61, well, it'll be only 36 hours. How much?
I'm just saying, hour wise, it's $36. You're right.
Yeah.
the deputy clerk, oh yeah, she's on here, where?
51,000.
1872. Is your computer up, Christie, by chance?
No,
No.
Oh, then we'll have it.
So you do 36 hours, right?
27, 24. So Amy, at the proposed rate would be 27, 24. The deputy treasurer at the proposed would be 27, 24.
That's what they make right now?
I
No.
just said proposed rate.
Proposed rate, you want now? Okay, so
2675 is yours, but we don't have a
Correct, okay.
breakdown of Christie's.
48, 930. 930,
Right, but what was the average?
1872,
2614, basically.
2614
That what you
is now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said, it's like $5 over what Penfield is right now.
Well, yeah, if we're that high, then
Yeah,
The Penfield's deputies work full-time?
yes, yes,
They do.
yep.
so what if we just propose to the deputies $1 an hour each? Instead of the $2, if we're that high already on your,
Right here's their pay scale, right here.
if we're already paying $6-7 a head.
That's, I mean,
Have you looked at any other towns? So besides, we're gonna pay Penfield wages, is that what we're going for?
No.
So we're trying to be
No,
commensurate
with that,
and
Joyce.
fair
$1
with the surrounding
Mine is-
area.
Okay, so Joyce and Christie are both said they're fine with $1 an hour to their deputies, right?
Correct.
Okay.
yes.
Okay, that's perfect. I don't know, is this more that we can finish?
No, let's finish
Tuesday.
it.
I'm
Let's
sorry?
finish it.
Yeah, let's
Let's be done.
press through. It'd be
Because then
nice
I
to have
can-
this finished.
And then you could get this all
Numbers.
cleaned up and
Yes.
number wise, and at Tuesday, then we could do approval.
So where are we looking at with Cody?
Cody
We
was
talked,
the.
we talked about the deputies, we
Mhm.
talked about the hourly folks out at the cemetery.
Cody was, we're putting him up to 28,950 for marijuana, 28,950 for building, which makes it 57,900. And then 2,500 extra in there for the meeting. So that takes him over 60.
Okay, I'm just,
Yeah, that's
like I
my,
said,
yeah. Mhm.
And what was he making this year?
I just want to make sure we're not leaving him out.
Nope,
Would we, so if deputies are 25 an hour,
what are your thoughts, Joyce?
would Cody be willing to take 75 a meeting?
Do that.
Are you-
Get some sort of meeting fee on there, yeah.
100%. But you guys, go ahead. What do you think?
If he's willing to do that, I'm.
So what are we saying then? We're saying the new wage of 28,950 times
Times
2?
2, which is 57,900. And then 75 a meeting times, I think we did 24, did we do 20?
I think you said 25.
25.
So 75 times 25. You are good with that, Cody?
100%.
1875, sure. 1875 on top of the 59,700.
So it's 59,775?
I got 57,900, and then 75 times is
1875.
1875, so 57,900 plus 1875. Should put him pretty close to 60.
I think it's 57,775, but.
5775, well, 28,950 times 2.
Right.
It's 58.
1875, okay.
57, yep. So what did your total get there, Joyce? The total at 75?
I didn't add it, I was away.
Oh.
It was 1875, right?
Yeah, 1,875.
59,775.
Okay. 59 what?
775.
Good with that, Cody?
All right, for blight, I think, 8% is too much.
Well, definitely,
But that,
especially when I hear he's only here 10 hours a week during the winter. I mean,
well,
It's hourly.
it's hourly, it's, you know.
okay, so it's not South Carolina, I see, all right.
So, you know, I think
Right.
an 8% increase.
Right, the
or-
8% definitely.
How much was it asking per hour more? Was
It's
it
$2 an hour.
So do we do $1 an hour?
I think that would be fair with what we've done with others.
Right,
Anybody else have any thoughts?
and so he's not on that sheet, so what does that put us?
It was on my other sheet.
He's a
Yeah,
dollar.
it's
In the
on
budget.
page 3 of the budget.
$1 be fine, I'll go with $1.
It was
Okay.
2175.
But, I do wanna say, we ask him to do a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll discuss that appropriately at the appropriate time. Yeah, we do.
He does. And so he has the option to work more hours a week, right? If he wants to, he doesn't, we're not like just
In his hours,
stifling him out 10 hours a week. He can work more if he.
Right,
chooses.
whatever Randy wants him to work.
Okay.
he can work.
Okay,
Speaking for him, there's not much you can do in the winter.
No,
You
no.
can't make people mow.
Yeah.
We're not gonna send people out in
Mhm.
frigid temperatures for.
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah,
Yeah, said $1 be fine.
So 26 an hour? Is that?
yeah, cause he was at 25, wasn't he?
Like that, and 5 people.
So we're doing Mike at 24, is that correct? Is
Right.
that what we all agreed on?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fine with that.
I just wondering,
And I have to say, in my profession, I see my guys every day. It is a tough job. Not even just dealing with that, it's emotions, dealing with families out there on that
It
grounds.
is.
It's well deserved.
Yeah, I think everybody, whether they're in the office or out
Mm-hmm.
doing something, has
Yeah.
a tough job. It's just my concern with them is it sounds from the statements around the table that they've been neglected for a few years and we need to make that right
Yeah.
now.
Absolutely.
I agree.
That's
so what was Thor's final number?
Thor's final number
Cause it was at 11.
was
21.5,
60,400, I think. No. 48.
48.
That's what they're asking for, that was 11%.
so 21,500.
48 total.
Yeah,
That was 11% from what he was making, so.
yes.
Yeah, but he went,
Just under, because the.
I mean, is everybody happy? I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy with
Everybody
that.
want-
Like I said, especially if he,
48,000.
my concern is like if he took a giant pay cut and he's been neglected for pay raises,
Okay,
that's not okay.
I'm just writing these down, so I got them,
What's it gonna take, Thor, final number? Sorry.
48.
48,000.
Perfect. And he is full benefits, so that's on top of that package, and then Mike is just no benefits.
Right.
Correct.
Part-time.
Perfect. Are we,
We're almost,
Is there anything I do with Mike or Mark? I mean, we're gonna see that and here we got 7,000.
We,
We did do something
I
with
thought
it.
we did do
Okay.
something with him.
We
Mhm.
gave him $1,700
Yeah.
more,
Right, so it's 7,000 total.
Yep.
right?
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
and
so we
Randy,
brought
you
him
agreed
up
to the
10%.
2.8%.
Yep.
So that's all that's left to debate is, Joyce and Christie. Is that correct?
Mhm.
It'd be nice to decide it tonight if we could. If we can't, it'll have to go to Tuesday, but,
No, we'll decide it tonight.
okay.
Absolutely. What? I said I'd be happy with,
2.8.
I said 3. 3.9.
well, Randy's getting 2.8, why don't we just, I don't know. Well,
Randy's done negotiating. He's done with his, right?
Christie's on the table.
Yeah, but
And I said I would be happy with 3.5.
I would counter with 3.
I think, yeah, if Joyce is willing to do 3, I think both of you, that's my opinion, 3% for both.
I don't want to hold her back though.
No, you're not.
I still feel like it should be 3.5 because I should be compensated for being here for that year. So I'm not being paid the same amount as somebody that you brought in a year after I had been here at the same pay rate as me.
I respect your feelings on that. I'm just looking at it as it doesn't change my math.
Well, no, and Joyce has been here, and Joyce, you mentioned 12, 13 years. This is your 13th
she
year.
said 15, I thought, didn't you?
I worked here for 15.
15? Yeah.
But again, these are all elected positions. You know, it's not a seniority based deal.
No, I know that.
And
I'm
I
just
think,
saying.
you know, we're used to hearing that in corporate America, but that's not what it is
Mhm.
That's not here.
here.
Hey, where I work, I didn't even get a raise this year, nobody there did, so. I guess I usually get one every year,
I have to be done.
so,
I won't know till March.
yeah.
You
Well,
split
that's
the
kind.
difference, 3.2.
I think it should stay at 3. That's where I'm at. But
I would go to 3.2.
Yeah,
I don't know if this was suggested, because one of the things you said earlier is you want to see the impact on the budget. So you've agreed to everything else. Leave this one alone, but then come back with, okay, if we gave 2.53, 3.25, 4 scenarios, whatever the percentages are, then that way, then you can see, okay, where do we end up with the budget overall? And then based upon that, then we can make a final decision, because if you don't want to vote tonight, then that puts you in a position to come back next week, and then you have the data in front of you to vote. On the final decision. And you'll know that the dollars down there. That's the only one.
well, we kind of have them in front of us really though, but
Yeah,
I'd
I
like
mean-
to get it all finished tonight so that we can do numbers.
All I'm saying to that, in special meeting or workshop, we can't vote.
Right.
that, I wasn't saying vote.
right, no, right.
No, but we can have the decision made.
Yeah.
Because we're compliant with the OMA.
I said that, we just can't vote on it.
Yeah.
Till the night.
So that'll give you time to clean this up to what Joyce or Randy, whoever's gonna get these final
Yes.
things, but I don't know where.
But do we have to post our projected budget?
We do.
So what numbers would I put in the projected budget?
So if you already had your public hearing. Your budget.
Monday or
It's
Tuesday?
Tuesday at our board meeting.
I mean, so
We're at the deadline.
you're at the deadline, yeah, so you have to post this budget, but that doesn't mean the budget can't change. Right, so you could post the budget, then you have a public hearing, then you guys can still make adjustments, changes to the budget. I don't recommend that, because I'm with you, better off to kind
Lock
of be
it
done
in.
with it and know exactly what you're looking at, but yeah, technically you could make changes and adjustments out.
Basically, we're arguing over 9 cents an hour. between 3.2 and 3. I mean,
I just think they both should be the same. It's.
yeah, I think it should be equal. I even think if we're gonna do them to 3, we probably should bring Randy up to 3. And just make it 3 and say, that's more than what we were talking about. Be done with it.
Get to play what will pass the board.
Hmm.
We may not be unanimous,
Yeah.
but what's the digestible? And if it's 3, then that's what it is.
Right.
For, again, with the exceptions that we already
Hmm.
kind of are supporting. And that's what it is.
So if we're gonna do this on Tuesday, Joyce, I know you guys are off tomorrow. Do you know when we could get that to look at, to just track our numbers to it as well?
Yeah, as soon as I get it. It should be tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
I get it.
Appreciate it.
It's a late night.
Well, to get this done, who would be willing to go to 3.2?
I think it should stay the same. I'm all for that. I would vote no on it because I don't think it's fair to give someone higher. They all have the same, I mean, the pay wise, they have the same vacations, paid holidays, everything else. I just think us going higher for one other person, I don't think is fair.
Yep, and I would also like to say that Randy was supposed to be brought in at the same amount as me, and he's getting paid $2 more than what I'm even making right now.
At least it's good.
Cause I'm making 82, you're making 84.
I mean, 84 and 82.
484, 486.
Are you talking $2 for the whole year?
But I'm just saying that he was brought in at more than I was even.
But $2.
Yeah, and I was here a year longer than him. So I have a right to say that. When he was supposed to come in at the same rate as me,
Okay,
but
so what if we did,
We'll give him
what if we,
2.95 or whatever to make it even. How's that? I mean,
Put them
Come
all
on,
3
we're splitting
3%,
hairs
all
over-
3 to 3%.
Yeah.
Even it's fair, there's no
Well, if he-
different.
because he makes $2, not $2 more a year.
He's also our supervisor too
Right.
here, that,
he's not my supervisor. I'm an elected official, as well as Randy's an elected official as
we're all
well.
elected, Christine.
You're correct.
Mhm.
He's not my boss.
No.
I didn't say he was your boss.
so what if we, just hear me out all the way, so be quick. What if we adjusted her salary to the difference of,
I think we're just
Yeah.
splitting
Yeah,
hairs.
I think- I think
3%, just go with it and see if it's everybody 3% and call it a night.
Yeah.
And then it's fair. It's everybody's even on the same board. Everybody's on the same playing field. You're still getting all your vacation time and everything else. Nothing's changing there.
Okay,
You in agreement?
I'm just saying, okay.
3%.
3%. Okay,
is it across the board, or is Randy 2.8?
We'll move Randy to 3% too.
Let's
And then
be
it's
consistent.
fair.
it's fair to everybody. Okay, we went through that. Workshop is closed.
Public comments?
Oh, public comment.
And
Workshop
Joyce,
is-
sorry, we're foregoing any raise, all of us trustees, so we'll stay at the same as last year. So just, thank you.
One last comment too, just think about for next year's budget process. You should really be adopting a capital improvements plan as well as part of your budget process. So that would be something that would make a priority to work on and complete for next year. I
And
think,
we should.
Complete
start
is
that right away.
operative, it's being worked on.
yeah, okay, yeah. I got it.
That's in the,
So it should be technically adopted by the planning commission first, and then after the planning commission adopts it, and the board adopts it, as part of the budget process.
Yeah, they're working
Okay.
on that.
Okay, thank you.
Finish up our agenda.
I'd really love to get public comment now.
Okay, that's what I'm getting ready to say.
Mm.
The workshop is closed. Now we'll go to public comments.
I'm gonna step out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
thank you
Rob,
for
for
being
coming.
here.
We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
You've been a big help.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
thank you for coming at the last minute. We do appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Here you go.
Have a safe trip home.
Thank you. Drive careful.
Thank you, Rod.
Do I have to do this?
3 minutes.
And you might want to limit me to 3.
No.
Okay, you said it.
Real quickly, I thought a good thing tonight that we did was have the accountant here. I think that's really beneficial.
I do.
Having been a part of the budget process for not having that here, first and foremost. Second of all, I guess, we never did get clarification on why in the 25, the marijuana was listed under law enforcement, and then in the 26, the proposed budget was less than that police contract. I was talking with the accountant there on the break, and he was trying to show me a few things. So maybe I'm still not seeing it. I just want to make sure that we're not short 200 grand. That's all on that. As far as the wages go, there's a lot of talk about that, and I'll wear 2 hats here as the planning commission representative here tonight. Very appreciative that the board, took into account, what I submitted. There'll be an annual report for your meeting next week that, maybe would shed some more light on that. I know it's not final, but appreciate the discussion at the very least. And I do think there are ways to, moving forward, make that more of a revenue neutral so the residents aren't paying for that. But now's not the time for that conversation. I will say, and I've said it before, we are kind of in this situation where we have a lot to do. And I think part of that is that we just have not, kept up with, wages and stuff. I mean, if you just take, I'll use Cody as an example. Hope you don't mind. He came on under a certain thing. You heard him say earlier, it was a quarterly meeting, and, now he's here all the time. Absolutely justified what you guys did there. I would have advocated for it if not. But that's true across the board. Like the board has made decisions in the last 2 years, we want to do things better and be more, retroactive. That does take a lot of work from the 3 elected officials that are here in the office. And I'm in a unique position because I've been to every board meeting since February of 22. And I've seen more, I've seen less, we've seen all kinds of stuff, right? And I really do believe that, is something that we should, take into account. As a resident now speaking, I think that when you take care of your people, you're going to get a better result. And we have a lot of stuff to take care of. Real quickly on the capital improvement plan. I don't disagree with what the accountant said. However, that has to be something that the planning commission and the board works together on diligently. That is going to be something that our planning commission has never done because the township hasn't been out front on that. And that is going to be eye-opening for everyone, just in the sense that you're going to have a planning commission that is not elected officials making recommendations about tax dollars. So that'll be a process. I'm happy about the compensation, but again, just keep all those things in mind. When we're talking about doing better, there is a cost to doing better, and that means that, everyone else will have to pull more weight, and there should be some form of compensation there. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
One more.
Oh, got it.
I'm out of here. Well, I apologize to the board for running my mouth off on it earlier on it and stuff when you presented to the fire department with me. I am out of the fire department. It's gonna be 6 months at the end of this month, so coming up. My heart is still with the fire department and stuff. After 58 years, I've been on there work. I went through a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff out here happen and stuff. I have drove trucks out here when I first hired and stuff there that, had to almost have a truck follow behind you and bring you back to the station, or the pumps went out on at the fire or stuff like that, until we progressed in 2003. We had one mill come in to buy new fire trucks. We purchased 6 of them. 2 engines, 2 tankers, and 2 grass rigs for just under $1 million. And like I'm telling you right now, an engine out here costs $1 million right today, took 2 years to build it. You got a fire station out there that needs to be replaced because it's the center of the township, the village and stuff. ISO is gonna jump up for everybody that lives out here. And if the insurance company finds out you have no that much fire protection, you're dependent on an engine from over here or Station 3 to get somebody to get an engine over there to grab it and get over there for a house. Years ago, when I first got on, we had Johnstown. We covered Johnstown area. We covered Lacey Department. Bedford did. Well, by the time we got there, it had pretty well gone in the basement. Bedford become known as the basement savers because we had trucks that break down and all of that stuff. We progressed in 2003. Here it is, 2015. 2017, that station out there was condemned. I can go on and tell you why it was condemned, but I ain't gonna stand here and run my mouth all this to you and all stuff. But I'm telling you, Eve, to what I asked you earlier, if you want to meet with me, 2 or 3, I want at least more than 2 or 3 people. I'll meet you over here. We'll go through some of the things in the past history of the township. You got history out in this village. It was way back when a horse and buggy went up through here, way to Hastings and stuff, and stayed right in villages. And they had overnight people did on horse and buggy. You got a lot of history out here. You're going backwards now because you got no station out there. You got 22-year-old trucks. They're gonna start breaking down before long. It costs some money. You just spent they put the tires on the tower out there. The tires are setting over there in Station 1. They're probably going to be thrown away without a doubt. They will be when they start tearing that building down and stuff. But I'm telling you, I'm willing to meet with you, some of you people and stuff. But if you don't start, if it's something minor, even minor, it don't have to be big, but start showing these people in the village in here, if the dumb people would start coming to the meetings and stuff like that, and probably gonna see what's going on, something to learn, they see something starting moving. You got a park down there. You got 2 outhouses. You can't use them anymore. They've been in there for long. Used to have a carnival used to be down there, come in and you used to have parades in the village here and stuff. I can remember going down the carnival. I used to go to Christmas parties in the village, basically upstairs there. Police officers used to have a party up there when they have, they had their own cops out here in Bedford. They get a deer and we'd have breakfast and stuff up into there.
You have so much
Yeah.
history, Chief.
Chief, I'm gonna have to cut you off right
So
here.
much history.
You gotta move on some things, and somebody tells you something, says something to you. That's why I want more people. If I talk to you, I want more than 1 or 2 people, so I know that somebody's gonna be moving on this and follow up onto this and find out if it can be done or what it's gonna cost and stuff like that. Don't push it into the closet and leave it. Then you come down to this done, just like 17 years ago when that upstairs over there was condemned. Why wasn't something taken, started moving in onto a station over there and stuff? No, it wasn't. 40 years prior to 2017, nothing was done on maintenance wise on it. The rain, the roof, flat roof, it's like this one here. You've had problems with this one. The flat roof is a no-no.
Yeah. We'll take you up on that sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll take you up on that sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we will.
It's,
Well, if you wanna talk, you guys wanna talk after I adjourn, you can do that.
That's there, but I'm telling you, take heed to what I'm telling you.
We're gonna have to close this meeting
It's
up.
about my bedtime. I gotta go.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
Thank you. See you later.
All right, elected officials, and trustee comments. That's good.
I'm good. Everybody, been a long meeting.
Very long meeting.
I think we're good. Got something settled, so let's go home.
Joey?
We're good.
Yeah, I think we have a game plan and we can revisit things. definitely
I think that
forward.
takes the work on still.
Yeah.
We could
Thank you.
do that.
Anybody else? Seeing no more, then I don't have anything else to say. Meeting is adjourned.